Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly, I guess, storyteller. Although for this particular game, I think I prefer newsreader. So I'll be your friendly newsreader for today. Today, we are playing a very special one-shot of a classic RPG that was dead before its time way back in the early 2000s. And that is White Wolf's final release in the original Trinity or Aeon line of RPGs, which included Trinity and Aberrant, and that is Adventure, the Tales of the Aeon Society. Keen viewers will note that we've actually changed the name of the, I've referred to it as the Aegis Society, but we'll talk about why that is in a moment. With me today, we have some stalwart pulp heroes who have assembled to play some stalwart pulp heroes. So let me go through the order I've got you guys. I guess first, before we do some introductions, I'll do introductions first. Tell us who you're playing, guys. Then we'll talk about what this game is and what we're going to be doing with it. So first up, we've got Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and today I'm going to be playing Sela Unadi, who is also known as the Astro Amazon. She is a extremely intelligent and thoughtful woman of space.
Very nice. And next up is Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'll be playing Eric Erscheinung. He is he's a mesmerist, German, very strict.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least is Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen. I'm playing Jack Simon, whose sort of alter ego is Agent America. He's a recipient of a super soldier vitamin, and he also has a shield of some unknown but incredibly strong material that's good for stopping bullets and things like that.
That is a pretty cool character concept. I think you could do something with that.
Yeah, might be pretty popular. And look at that face. I'm sure we could think of just maybe like a Chris Evans type in that role, you know.
I don't know. That guy really looks more like a Human Torch to me, but, you know, what do I know? All right, so the game of Adventure is... it is based on the, I guess first off, the setting is to try and recapture kind of a 1930s pulp setting, but in a very distinctive kind of world that is consistent with the history of the other two games in the original Aeon line for Aberrant and Trinity. It was kind of neat because they released the game sort of backwards in time. Trinity saw where life was at 2300. Aberrant gave you like late 80s or late 90s, I believe, or early 2000s view of a superhero world, and this goes back another 70 or 80 years to present the world as it was. We're not necessarily going to be using that world, but we are going to be using basically all the rest of the mechanics. The mechanics in the game are very much like the classic, well, it's not quite the same as the classic World of Darkness from the, or the storyteller system from the old World of Darkness games. This is the second iteration of it that was used in Trinity and Aberrant and Exalted, so it is the second thing. This is not the story path version that is currently being delivered in Kickstarter and currently has a couple of other books out for it. So this is the, Adventure. There's only ever been one book that's been out for it. It never received any other support afterwards, apart from a D20 version that came out in shortly thereafter, which is supposed to be quite good as well, too. I've never picked it up or read it or whatnot, just I have heard good things about it.
Well, I think that the D20 version, I'm pretty sure the PDF is free on drive-through. I remember the PDF for normal version Adventure is like $10 or something. Yeah. And it's, you know, like all good pulp heroes, it wasn't quite dead apparently because there's the new version coming.
There is, yep, which will be based on the story path system, and we'll talk more maybe at the end about that, because I am really intrigued by the story path system. I like it a lot, but I don't want to take away from what this game is before that. But guys, let's talk about on the title of our one shot today. Our cliffhanger is called "The Deadly Dinos of Nazi Dracula." So our scene will open, guys, on a, let me grab your tokens here before I forget, because I will forget. Here we go. The fog-filled streets of London. Now let me change this. I had this as our kind of placeholder music. Let's find something a little creepier. I know it's so unlike me to go creepy this early in the game, but, you know.
There's not going to be horror in today's adventure, is there?
If ever there was a game where I can mustache twirl, this is it. All right, let's see here. Grim Idol, how does that sound? Holy shit, is that loud? Hold on. I picked these all out beforehand, and then I can't remember what any of them sound like. All right, that sounds about right. There we go. So this is the fog-filled streets of London. We see in white lettering that comes up on the screen that this is August 1938. And making his way through the streets of London, we see a figure wrapped up in a heavy cloak, or not cloak, a heavy like jacket, like a London fog kind of thing. People are walking back and forth on the empty streets, but it's one of those nights where the fog kind of hangs thick in the air. It really, you know, the name that non-Londoners like to use for London, the nickname of the smoke, definitely feels accurate, and it feels like it's living up to that moniker today. And speaking of people who are not from here, it appears that this person may not be from here as well, because once or twice he's been stopping someone and saying, "Excuse me, sir," "Excuse me, ma'am," trying to get directions to find the building he's looking for. And the reason I mention it, not only because of this person's apparent politeness, there's two things that stand out. One is the sharp American accent that this individual has. And the second thing is that he stands at least a head taller than everyone else he is talking to. This, of course, is Jack Simon. Arlen, you are making your way through the streets of London, and boy, like if they really wanted to get someone lost here, to punish someone, you know, give them an address without any instructions and set them loose in this town. I think you've been looking for maybe about probably for about 20 minutes now, trying to find this one location. Let's get some dice rolling here. So I want to see if we can get some. Oh, and you know what? I've got the character sheet right at the back here. Why don't you give us a charisma etiquette check? So if you don't have any points in something, it still will roll the full points, your relevant attribute for you.
Yeah, you just get the points from the attribute plus the points from the skills. And so if you just, So I'm not good at etiquette, but let's see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you did a great job of demonstrating how, in most cases, as long as you get one success, that's it. Like, all you need is that, unless it's a difficult thing. So it doesn't matter if your character's not super skilled in something. Mm-hmm. Agent Simon, someone we see in the darkness, this woman who's been pushing, like, you know, her probably what is her dinner ahead of her, turns and kind of points and gestures to the side. You leave her, thanking her, and you make your way up to this building, shrouded in the ever-approaching evening. You're wishing that the moon would get a little higher up so it could shed a little further light in here, but it seems it's that kind of fog where the light seems to make it even harder to make out the figures as they approach. So you're quite happy to finally found your destination. This is the address that you've been looking for. It's a big old brick building. It really looks like any number of buildings that are up and down this long street. And you can't help but notice that you seem to be the only one on this street at this time. You make your way up to the door. There's a knocker hanging from it, and you're about to pull it up and hit it when the door opens up. And there is a butler. I mean, I'm not sure you've ever really been in this social situation where you've had a butler before, but things you saw in the, in the movies. This is what a butler looks like. He's got tails on, he's got white gloves, crisp white shirt, and he has that kind of polite to the point of being rude kind of affectation to him. Yes, sir, he says. Now you are here to meet someone, another agent, a fellow agent, if you will. This is Agent Aeon. The code word you've been given is simply Aeon.
So Jack will kind of, not like a full crouch, but he definitely leans down towards him and whispers, Aeon is the code word.
The only reaction you get from the butler is like maybe a millimeter bit his one eyebrow. I see, sir. He steps back. In this way, if you would. And you are brought in. Now, as you step out of the fog, we finally get a good look at what Jack Simon looks like. And as he's pulling this, it's probably something you purchased here too, the trench coat kind of thing. So it probably isn't great fitting on you. But what do we see as we see Jack's or Agent Simon in his grand glory.
So it's right, big handsome guy, and not just like handsome, but you can see the kind of strength of personality in his eyes and in his face, and this kind of musculature. He's like, didn't they say for The Witcher that Henry Cavill was so muscular he was ruining his costumes? It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
That he's bulging at the seams of this, like, looks totally out of place. It's like a flannel lumberjack shirt or something, and blue jeans.
I'm
tucked in.
Henry. I'm not sure if you saw that Enola Holmes film, but Henry Cavill plays Sherlock Holmes in that, and it's hilarious seeing him in like English finery.
Yeah. So he's just kind of his this kind of imposing muscular figure, classic, like the superhero V shape, but to his chest and shoulders that is just ridiculous, and kind of has his sleeves rolled up and his jeans on and these kind of work boots, and he is this kind of weird mishmash of like what people, it's like clearly clothing that has been purchased for him, but that he thinks would fit in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That he's given instructions to somebody, oh, this is what I wear, and then they've given him the high grade version of that, and it's clearly a little ill-fitting, but he's takes up the complete doorway as he steps through and all that sort of stuff.
So then once, and you can picture that the butler is a good foot or a good head shorter than you too. So we see sort of his head. We're seeing your shoulders as you just hand stuff to him. And he says, "Very good, sir. This way." He leads you down a hall, and there's like a rolling door that rolls open, and what you see is effectively like a kind of like a Victorian conference room, a long oval-shaped table. It seems like the room was built to accommodate this specific table. There's alcoves in the wall with a lot of pictures and such that are set up in it, and there is a ton of historical like knickknacks and stuff around here. There are some Greek, some Roman, some more exotic. Jack, you're not really a super well-traveled guy at this stage, so maybe Asia, but who knows from where. But waiting in this room is a woman. Jeffrey, what does Jack see as he walks in and finds Selah?
Yeah, I think she would probably be seated when you would come in. She would have her sort of flight jacket off there. Her fancy leather jacket with the fur cuffs would be on the seat behind her, and she would have just like a nice sort of smart white cotton dress shirt on, and probably reading something or going through some sort of maybe not like a book, but like an architectural or an engineering drawing of some sort that she is going over.
Okay. So she looks up
Maybe, maybe making notes on it.
Okay. So this is not who... I guess you actually haven't met Agent Aeronese yet. So who says something first? The butler just gestures for you to go in.
Yeah, Jack will walk over and says, "Excuse me, ma'am, you're my contact here," and holds out his hand for her to shake.
You can hear a distinctly kind of like Midwestern, American accent.
And this is who I'm here to meet?
No, you've met Agent Aeronese already. He's not here yet.
Okay. No, sorry. She stands up and folds up what she was looking at. I'm not Agent Aeronese. Sela. So
I was thinking about this before too, because Sela is technically from Neptune. So
right.
What do you think? I mean, I have no idea what a Neptunian accent would sound like, but what do you think Jack's hearing as the Neptunian accent? What's the closest connection?
Yeah, like I think something maybe like sing-songy, like sort of
like Australian maybe, or South African?
Yeah, I was thinking more like yeah, maybe Australian.
Well, it might depend like on it could be like an accent that the Neptunians have kind of copied from somebody on Earth, like whoever you made first contact with or something, right? That could be a...
So
I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it being like from the outback, like this Neptune's way out there, so that's kind of interesting.
Well, and as you will find, the Neptunians they have been observing and interacting with the Earth for a very long time. So, you, of course, Jack, have never... She's Australian? Huh, that's...
Yeah.
Okay. So, the Agent Aeronese, from past experience, Sela, he really does enjoy making a bit of a dramatic entrance. So, likely it's not until all the members of the Aegis Society are present before he will make his entrance. And one thing you noticed, Jack, is you look down and in the middle of the table, there is, like set into the hard wood, there is maybe it's marble or some kind of like precious stone, but it is like a Greek black and orange style depiction of something, like something you'd see on a terracotta vase, or not terracotta, but on a clay vase, poor vase, depicting some kind of shield. So, Sela, there's still one more member of the Aegis Society that you'll be meeting here. Jack, this is your first time you've been in this before. Sela, you've been involved with the Aegis Society for at least a decade.
Yeah. Okay.
Jack's looking... Is Jack, like, what's he doing? Is he sort of overwhelmed by what he's seeing here, or...
I don't think I think he would be overwhelmed if he had a more kind of thorough understanding of what it represents, but you can tell that it's sort of bouncing off him a little bit. That he's sort of like, "Oh, wow, this is cool," but he doesn't really get like just how much kind of wealth and power went into all of this stuff. And he's sort of looking around, and he'll say, "Oh, sorry about the confusion, Sela. I was just expecting an Agent Aeronese, and
He'll be along in a bit.
Okay, cool.
I think there's some drinks right over there, and she'll sit back down in her chair and unfold her sort of drawing that she was engrossed in.
Okay. So as you look over, there are a number of black and white photos, next to where the drinks are. With your metabolism, Jack, I imagine you've got quite a tolerance. So even if you don't have if you're not inclined towards drink, having one certainly will not put you off your game in any way. So.
Well, and this is the 30s, so people drink like fishes, right? So.
Yes.
Yeah. No, Jack will, pour himself accidentally pour himself something really top shelf, not realizing what the label is.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. And then, Will, how would you like Eric to make his entrance?
Well, that's excellent. Let's see here. So is this like a library?
There probably are a couple of books in here, but it's not. It's more of a meeting room or a conference room.
Windows to the outside?
A salon, you might call. Windows to the outside, yes. But the blinds are drawn, though.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happens. The lighting dims slightly, and this smoky mist just kind of flows in from underneath one of the curtains. And then the mist dissipates, and there stands the Wraith.
Nice. So, Jack, Sailor, this I take it is probably no surprise to you. This is your German comrade really does enjoy making a dramatic entrance. But Jack, what the fuck?
Right. So Jack's sort of watching the mist and looking at it, and then as it starts to dissipate, and there's a guy spills some of the drink. He's like, "Oh shit, damn! Oops, sorry, excuse me, ma'am. I didn't mean to." And he's completely flustered about having reacted like that, and he's trying to you can see him. He's trying to catch the drips falling from the bottom of his glass so it doesn't fall on the carpet, and is sort of looking around between them like, what am I going to do? This who's this? Yeah.
Okay.
Guten Abend, mein friends.
German. 1938.
Um,
At this time, Prime Minister Chamberlain is desperately trying to work out some kind of arrangement with the paper hanger in Germany and I can't remember if it's a republic, but the Czechoslovakia, because the paper hanger has insisted on a surrender of more land, and it is seeming ever more likely that is going to be the case, and the rumblings of a war coming are definitely something that all the tongues are wagging about. The Germans at this time as well, this is 2 decades away from the last war. But things in London's, even as far away as America, you've heard, I think. But I mean, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for something like that. But now there is a German in the room here. Jack, how do you react?
So Jack is not making any sudden movements, but sort of moves his glass over, sets it down clearly on a ancient table that it's going to make marks on and all that sort of stuff. And he kind of is really clearly sizing this guy up, and also you can see there's sort of like a sort of. I don't know if we would see it, but in the film, we'd have some way of visually representing that he's kind of like trying to listen and hear if there's any like boots moving around upstairs, or if there's, if there's more of them around. Yeah.
Sayla and Eric, why don't you each give us an awareness check, please? And remember, you get because of your Neptunian senses, Sayla, you do get 2 extra dice for that.
okay. So minus 2 extra.
4. Nice. Okay. So both of you can tell, like, it's hidden well, but I mean, he's seconds. He's like one move off from just springing into action. So what you'd heard from Agent Aranese about this American who's coming over, they're not wrong. And he does, the way Arnold said, this guy fills up it looks like the room was built like he's walking in a child's sized room instead, because he's such a big dude.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, Eric and Selah, what do you say or do anything?
Eric looks at him, tilts his head, smiles slightly. My friend, please, enjoy your drink.
And then you hear a knock at the door. And you realize there's another door at the other end, opposite from the rolling door that you came into this room. And there's a man standing there. He looks like this. The one main difference is he has an eye patch. And he says, all right, Jack, my boy, you can settle down. Not to worry about Eric there. He's one of the good ones. And he steps forward, puts his hand out. Let's call you Agent America. Agent America, I am Aranese. Puts his hand out. Welcome to the Aegis Society. I see you've met our colleagues, Selah Unati, the Astro Amazon, and Eric Ershinung, the Wraith. Please, do when you speak to them, extend our gratitude to your generals. We appreciate the benefit of your involvement in this most difficult problem. You see, in addition to your, I guess first he sort of waits for a moment for you to get your seat. You can see that seems that Eric has a seat that he usually gets to. Selah seems to be comfortable in her own seat. And somehow there's a drink in Eric's hand now too. You didn't see him get over to the bar.
Yeah, so Jackal, he kind of, reaches over to grab his drink without his eyes ever entirely leaving Eric. And he sort of picks it up and he'll say, well, I'm happy to be involved, but feel like I'm a little bit in the dark about what's precisely. Maybe we can all, talk a little bit, open the lines of communication a little more, perhaps.
Indeed. Forgive us our subterfuges. There are some of us who, of course, and he looks at Eric, particularly enjoy the shadows. But it was necessary. Loose lips and all that, We requested your involvement, not only because of your impressive physical presentation, and from what I'm led to believe are top-notch combat skills. We've had a situation arise, one which we are hopeful that you may be of some assistance, because it involves an old friend of yours. He suddenly produces from behind his back a piece of paper. I'm just gonna get his hand out right here. Tell me, do you recognize this man? And he places and he presents it like a drill sergeant would, with his little, what do you call it, like the little cane or wand or whip or whatever, the riding crop. Now, this particular photograph, you can picture this as like from a little further away with a little bit of like as if it was taken by a surreptitious onlooker. Now, the face is one you, Jack, will definitely not forget, because that is his real or at least what you've understood his birth name to be, is Max Mustermann. But you know him better as the Palian terrorist, a Nazi saboteur who you have tangled with in America for over the past year. Genius archaeologist, or not archaeologist, genius paleontologist, biologist, and experimental scientist, and a valued member of the Führer's scientific elite.
Yes, I recognize the picture, and I've had a few run-ins with this character, certainly. You're saying that the Palian terrorist is involved in whatever we're trying to deal with?
Indeed.
Not a good sign.
I was giving someone a little bit of extra info here. So, what he says, yes, Mustermann has been spotted. This photograph was taken in Varna. Hungary.
Where? Hungary? Okay.
Well, actually, Bulgaria, I believe.
Bulgaria.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Bulgaria. The Bulgarians have not fallen to the Reich yet, but if our intelligence is to be believed, Czechoslovakia will soon fall, and then most of Eastern Europe will fall the Führer's way. If not willingly, then there are others who will happily stand up and Sieg Heil their way to an alliance with the Third Reich. Mustermann was found there. Now, what your dealings with Mustermann have been thus far, Jack, is he has basically, the reason he looks the way he does is partly because of his own experiments. The experiments that led to the perfection of your super soldier vitamins was in part based on Mustermann's ideas of evolutionary deceleration. He also has a obsession with fielding an army of dinosaurs as part of an offensive against the Allied, or what will become the Allied powers. In his mind, in the front of the German, the Wehrmacht, you would be having enormous, Tyrannosaurus rexes, and in the skies, flying alongside the Luftwaffe, pterodactyls. He was in America, in part to try and work out some of those problems, but also because America is blessed, or North America at least, with many more easily accessible fossils than what you can access in Europe. Now, Eric, you sort of chuckle. That little tidbit that I gave you there, that actually might not be... the non-German speakers may not know that. Did you want to point that out to them?
Yes. Wait a minute. I'm confused.
That's all of us, except for you.
So the thing that is evident to you, Eric, is when the way that Aranese describes it, and he keeps referring to him as Mustermann and Mustermann, as if it's his name.
Yes.
And you kind of chuckle. And the reason you chuckle is because Max Mustermann is the German equivalent of John Doe. When you don't know someone, or you don't have an a proper identification for them, Germans use Max Mustermann instead of John Doe, meaning that Mustermann is not this individual's name.
Yeah. The name that you have, Musterman? Max Musterman?
Yes.
Merely an alias.
Indeed. Then, Mosterman has been seen in Varna. We can't speculate as to why he may be there. Anyone who has any dots in science, you can go ahead and give us a science check if you like.
I definitely have science.
Anna says hi to everybody. Hello.
Anna Banana.
Hello. Good
Oh,
girl.
and I have a specialty in science.
Nice. So add what dice of yours? Ooh, only one.
Good thing I did. Jeepers.
All right, so Will, what you would, I mean, maybe this is from you reading some kind of scientific journal or something like that, or National Geographic or the Royal Geographic Society. There are, you've heard of dinosaurs in Bulgaria. There is, in particular, large theropods that are found in there. And Aranese says, yes, that is what we first suspected, that there is something more. It seems Musterman was not only interested in Bulgaria, he traveled north into Romania. And we have it on good authority that he was seen in the region formerly was Wallachia. And Aranese turns and makes his way over to the bookshelf there and kind of, yes, pulls a book off a shelf, walks over and carefully places it down on that table, partially concealing that Greek portrait or the Greek art in the middle of it. What it is, a first edition copy of Dracula.
Ooh.
And he says, the wider world knows this book to be simply a work of fiction and a quite popular play. That is not the truth of the matter. This is a slightly altered version of a somewhat factual opportunity. The story contained herein, and he taps on the book, is not far off from the truth, but what it omits is an important state secret, something which Agent America and Eric, we share with you for the sake of this mission. Dracula, Count Dracula, did not come to, he came to England not on his own recognizance, but in response to a request by Her Majesty's government to act as an agent for us. There were some at the time who thought that one way of getting ahead in the great game was to employ immortal and unseen servants of supernatural power. What the novel accurately captures is the catastrophic impact of that gross miscalculation of the Count's willingness to work with others. So you can imagine our concern when Musterman, a known agent of the Reich, would be seen in and around the area of our Count's domain. Nothing's been seen of him since the end of Victoria's reign. And yet, the Nazis seem to think there is something to be gained there. It was after his time in Wallachia that Musterman was found in Varna. And Varna is of interest to us as well. He taps on the book. Stoker writes how when he sailed out from his home. It was from the freshwater port at Varna. And he sailed to these green and pleasant lands. Mosterman was there, and a ship departed. Stoker's book tells us how the Demeter ran afoul and crashed with no living occupants aboard. It seems that the Count, while not wishing to continually duplicate what he has done before, he throws down one more ship. And there's the back of a ship you can see, and on the back of the ship there is the name Ceres. Anybody who's got training in academics, you can go ahead and make an academics check.
Yep.
Nice. So Eric, you maybe would say this out loud. Ceres is the Latin name for Demeter. And what you see is not an old, rotten old ship. It is a new, cargo hauler. The ship arrives this evening. It is scheduled to arrive near to midnight. While we do not know what's in there, based on our past experiences with the Count, this we see as him playing. We don't know his game as of yet, but with Mosterman's, or whatever his name is, with his involvement and the Count, I think you can understand, Agent Simon, why we wished for your involvement with this as well. Now, Eric, let's see here. What do we think? Eric and Sale, let's see what you have learned about this in your dealings. Do you have any idea or suggestions for what skills might help us fill in what you know? This is the first you've heard of Vlad Dracula being involved with this, when you guys have been active agents of the Aegis Society.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I have science and engineering, so it could be some aspect of the creation of the monsters or the control of the monsters.
Yeah. Why don't you give us an engineering check, please? And I will remind you, so once per scene, you can spend a point of inspiration and double your pool. In this case, there's not necessarily a lot of extra stuff you can get from that, but you can feel free. Holy shit, 4 points. Yeah, so Mosterman, I think what you've been tracking, what you add to this, Selah, is that there has been an unusual amount of really high-end, chemical, what do you call it, like industrial chemical engineering material that has been shipped down to Bulgaria.
And it could be a factor in the control of these dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. And Eric, do you have a skill in mind you think might... And I think, Jack, I'll let you give some thought to what you think, because you've probably been... Stuff has been happening back home as well, too. You've not been sitting on your thumbs, the whole time here. What do you think, Eric?
Eric's main thrust would be, just the finding out of, the investigation of. I think that would be the main thing that he would bring to bear here.
Absolutely.
Possibly more on Mosterman's origins.
Sure. Yeah, give us an investigation check, please. So here's what you've turned up. In the time since they've come to power, the Nazis have been sending out under the cover of their Ananerba, the ancestor kind of discovery program, they have also been exploring all sorts of exotic occult kind of activities as well too. You would know that the Tulian Society was part of, or the Tula Society was part of the, or associated with sort of some of the founders of the Nazi Party. In our pulp world, they're obviously much more attuned to that. And one of the most terrifying aspects of the organization of the Reich this way is that you've got mad scientists working alongside, experimental biologists who are also taking crypt notes from black sorcerers. So that seems to be where he's going. He seems to be moving a little further afield of what is happening. And there's also something that he's been exploring. There are lost artifacts. The Nazis have been calling it Tula. And maybe you can produce something from the inside of your coat and place the things down. Or actually, let's see what Jack has to say. Jack, what do you have? What are you thinking you've been doing? Or would...
I think
I'm happy for it to be, let's say, you've had your, run-ins with Muslim men, and in our film version of our campaign, it would be you slow motion, pow, kind of socking him in the face. Mm-hmm. Why don't you give us a melee check?
All right. Do. Yeah.
If you had spent a point of inspiration, you'd get one back now. Mm-hmm. So the thing that, as the slow-mo is kind of going through, you see something has fallen off of his neck. And you've been keeping it with you, and you're not sure why, but you've had it with you all this time. Mm-hmm. And when you see the sort of the markings that Eric has on there, you're like, holy shit, I know what those are. And if you can picture a combination of kind of like dog tag and runic stone, but with it's an exotic design that seems like half Norse and half Pacific Islander kind of design to it. It's a very, very unusual combination. Do you show that to your newfound colleagues?
Yeah. I'll reach in and say, last time in Montana we tangled. They tell me that he's looking for this creature, this dinosaur. It's got teeth like Bowie knives. He's looking for. Anyway, we don't need to get into that. But I've got. And he pulls out from his pocket. He's holding by the chain this thing, and he kind of sets it on the table and says, "Maybe one of you can tell me a little more about this
Selah
icon."
The markings on that stone and the scribbles that Eric has replicated, that is Neptunian.
Whoa. Well,
your reason, we talked about this in the kind of the setting as we were, deciding which characters everyone was going to play for this thing. But one of the reasons you came here is because of this concern, not only of Neptunians, the Neptunian technology falling into the hands of humans who really are not ready for it.
Yeah.
But also another threat, which could be someone showing them how to use this stuff.
Right, a Neptunian turned.
Yep. And you can see there's something, from the streets of Marrakesh. There's something from the back streets of Hong Kong. There's another thing, the alleyways in New Orleans. It seems as if Eric has uncovered these things, and now in America as well, too, a, nutcase paleontology biologist who's experimenting, he's got access to this stuff now.
Right. Well, I can tell you, Jack, that these are Neptunian. May I see it?
Yeah, you mean like the planet, Neptune.
Yes, that's right. My home world. Were you unaware?
Jack looks very briefly up to Agent Aranese to see if he's joking, and Aranese, with his eye patch on, just goes,
I, didn't get very far from home before I started this program, so I'm learning all about the world, or worlds, I guess, that we all come from.
Yes, well, maybe you'll live long enough to see it one day. May I? And she
Of
reaches
course,
for the-
yeah, and Jack will kind of slide it over to her.
sure.
Okay.
So
We'll take a look at it.
Yeah. Give us an let's see here. I think a science check, please. Oh, you could also, if you want, Selah, you could make use of your etheric vision. If this is a power source.
Oh. Yeah, why don't I do that?
Okay.
So that's is
one-
that will
1 point of
willpower or
inspiration.
Inspiration.
The red, your red bar. So what do you think it looks like when we see her, or when she looks into, like, is there any physical manifestation of it, or?
I think it's like you'd have to be looking closely. I think the manifestation is like sort of like a glint in her eye, or like you'd have to be really observing her closely. Like maybe her pupils dilate for a second, like fully open or something. Like
Okay.
something that it would be subtle, but
Yeah,
there's
yeah. So her pupils just seem really like almost like a snapshot. And then go ahead and give us a science roll, and I'll give you a +2 because of your etheric attunement, and because you use to reflect your perception thing. 4, wowzers. All right, so what? This is most definitely not only a piece of ancient Neptunian technology. It's, for one, it's been activated. Like one of the things that, one of the reasons you're not tooling around in your saucer, your Neptunian saucer ship, is partly because like getting access to a power source is tricky, and it just so happened that you had a difficult trip here. The fact this thing's powered, that's impressive. It also means that either the humans have figured out, more in particular the Nazis have figured out how to activate the power, or there's someone showing them that that's what's happened. And your gut just, God, the thought of a Neptunian helping them along, that's obviously troubling.
I think that's probably in her mind the main reason why she's here.
Yeah.
To sort of ferret out this betrayer or whatever,
The Nazi from Neptune?
Yeah, the Nazi from Neptune.
Okay. Then what you also know is that this would have been a beacon of some kind. Something connected to some other kind of Neptunian technology. Perhaps like something that could either track where someone is, some way of recovering them, or a focus for some other kind of advanced technology.
So I'll share that. This seems to be some kind of a beacon.
It also, I guess, means that it's on and someone knows where you are, or at least where it is.
And this could have easily been tracked here to our location.
Aranese quickly kind of looks around. What? Can you shut it off?
Can I shut it off?
You try, sure. Give us a engineering. What do you think? You got some tools and stuff on you, or what? Or you just blast it with a radium gun?
I think she wouldn't want to destroy it, so I think she's got like some kind of a crazy-looking screwdriver, or and a wrench or something that she pulls out of her over at her jacket. So maybe she runs over to her sort of flight jacket, and it's got like a little inside pocket with a few tools in there. I'll see if I can do it with the tools I have here.
Okay, so you grab them out, throw it down on the table. Eric and Jack, how are you responding to the news that something may have tracked you here?
Eric is instantly aware. He stands up on his feet. He probably actually moves over to the window that he appeared from.
Okay.
And just kind of pulls the curtains enough, or the drapes enough, to look around surreptitiously.
So you pull it out, and the night is quite dark out here. Why don't you give us an awareness check, and I'll give you, let's say, -2 because of the conditions. Okay. Jack, what are you doing while Eric is looking out the window?
Jack's he's finished his drink, and he takes his tumbler and he sort of tosses it in his hand almost like a baseball for a second, wondering if that's going to be, and he turns to Aeon and says, "You guys have to have guns here, right?"
Aeon smells, "Oh yes, my good man." And he walks over and hits something on the underneath where hits a little, maybe it's an owl. It would probably be, an owl actually would be appropriate. It kind of hits, and you hear a and the whole wood finish or wood whatever underneath where the drink is drops open, and you find in there your shield and a bunch of guns as well too. Rifles, pistols, whatever you need. Aeon pulls out 2 Webley pistols. Gets himself ready.
So he grabs the shield, puts it on his left arm, and he reaches over, and he's got a shoulder harness for a big heavy semi-automatic, like an M1911 or something that he puts on and says, just as backup.
Okay, so you get that in. Eric, you have to sort of push the curtains aside. What you can see is, boy, the fog is thick this evening. Pea soup. It's not a wrong. That's curious. There's one bright star. Is that star getting brighter? So, Selah, your tool's going to spill out on the table. Why don't you give us now this is going to be an engineering roll, and I think because this is ancient kind of Neptunian technology that's been also seemingly further modified, the difficulty here is going to be let's say a 3. It means you need 3 successes for this. I'll remind you can spend a point of inspiration to double your dice pool for a roll once per scene if you like.
Sorry, what do you want me to roll? Percent?
Engineering, please.
Oh, engineering. This is for that check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's. No, I don't need to double this one. I'm going to go for it.
Okay.
There is confidence.
So there's no mechanic in the game for re-rolling.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Confident.
Oh shit! All right, so you get in and you're tinkering away at this thing. Jack, you spare a look over it for a second, and are some of those devices hanging? Are her tools floating in the air? Because she seems to be able to place things up and whatnot. Eric, that star is getting closer. It seems like it's actually coming in, and can you hear the roar of something?
We must leave now.
Selah, if you leave now, you're not going to be able to get this finished. So then
Just another minute.
Eric, what's
you
going
don't
on?
have another one.
Okay. Jack, you make your way over to the... Eric seems to be looking at something outside.
Yeah, so Jack will
I
move
know
over
what
next
I
to him and lean out.
Sure. Give us an awareness check, please, at -2.
Yeah, minus 2 dice. for
-1, because Eric has told you you're looking for something. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. There we go.
1 is all you need to succeed. Yeah, there's a bright light that's coming towards you. You know what it almost feels like? It's like when, on the 4th of July, when a rocket go... As soon as you say rocket, Eric, that's the roar. It sounds as if a rocket is coming directly in for your location.
Okay. I think what Eric wants to do, I want to use sleight of will and grab that thing out of Sayla's hands
Okay.
and then have Jack throw it out the window.
Okay. Yeah, love it. So why don't you give us a... Let's see here. Is there a skill combo that is set up for...
Yes. So it's a cross-match stamina and awareness.
Okay. So what's your... What you can do is actually, you see at the bottom, there's a way of adding in your own dice pools. Just put that in there. You maybe,
Already did it.
Fucking nice. Pros. I play with nothing but pros. All right, so what do we see as this thing... Sayla's like, I've got it! And sort of seems to activate it. What happens then?
He kind of stretches out his arms, one kind of towards Jack, the other towards Sayla. And you see all of a sudden it just kind of vanishes, and this wisp goes into one sleeve and kind of comes out the other, and it materializes in Jack's hand. Throw it now!
So Jack, left hand, gives essentially a punch to the window and shatters it all, and then just kind of heaves it. But he doesn't heave it out so much as up, kind of arcing up. He doesn't want it to land anywhere and the rocket to come hit somebody.
Go ahead and give us an athletics check, please.
All right. I am pretty good at athletics. Yeah.
If you'd spent a point of inspiration, you would have got it back there. And I think, let's do this. Does Eric or Sayla get a point of, point of inspiration back?
I think Sayla should have it back because she just, got it taken away from her, and it might have been important to her. And, Jack will say, after he throws it, he'll kind of come by and say some words to her to try to, get her.
So what you see is this thing vanishes. It's exactly as you described, and then as you do it, you see suddenly the star turns, and you see a smoky trail behind it as it connects with it, and then suddenly the night sky of London is alight with a wash of soundless, brilliant light. And you see that for a second, and because your sight was still attuned to the etheric kind of energies, Sayla, you sort of stumbled over and looked out. What just exploded was a radium ray bomb. So it was a bit of a rumbling. And then Ernie says, well, then, good throw, sir. It's almost, you really could be starting on a team for cricket. My apologies to any UK listeners for my brutal overgeneralization of British people.
Yeah, I didn't quite make the baseball team in high school, but I'm a little stronger now.
Indeed. Then, this is... He points down at the ship. This is connected to this. If they've sent an experimental weapon like that to try and defeat us, then this is something they wish us not to see. I trust that you three can handle this matter. I have... You see him working his that mustache of his. I must seek instruction from her. I must, seek further. Then, Agent Simon, welcome to the Aegis Society. He turns and walks out. He tips the owl up as he goes, and then the gun safe kind of closes off, but you've got that pistol on you now. Right then, he walks out and leaves you guys to your planning. What are you guys going to do next?
First thing I think of is we need to go to the docks, but I'm open to suggestions.
I'm in. We must discover who is behind this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I think we should get to the docks. Let's see if we can't. I don't know. Do we call a cab? Do we, a motor pool downstairs or something? You guys have been. Yeah. What's the plan?
There will be a car that Sayla has access to, if you like.
Cool. All right, let's go.
Okay. So we cut. If there's anything you guys wish to do here, let me know. Otherwise, we'll cut to the fog-filled London docks. And it's that, let's turn this down here. All right. So this is, the way every cliched transition to the docks thing starts. You hear that. And your car, like a big old, I don't know, Jaguar maybe. You see it come out of the fog, and you guys step out. Now, do you think you would reach here before the Ceres arrives, or would you sort of time it to like just as it docks, or after it docks? What do you think?
I think we want to be there when it docks if we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Definitely before as opposed to
Jack would suggest get there as quickly as possible, and we'll just, if it's not there, we'll stake it out or whatever.
Okay.
Okay,
Until it gets
sure.
there.
So we'll race straight there then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So, you travel. Sayla, give us a. Do you have any points in drive?
Driving. Is there a driving?
Under wits.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, no, I have pilot, but not drive in particular.
So why don't we say this? Actually, the to avoid the things, you get in the car, it pulls out, and then sort of the tires sort of lift up a little bit, go underneath, and begin to sort of like spin like saucers.
Yeah, totally.
Give us a piloting check here. I was fishing to see if we can get you some inspiration back here.
Ooh.
Not that time. Still
Not
pretty
bad,
good,
not
though.
bad, not bad,
So,
yeah.
so where would you like to park yourself, knowing that you have a full 360-degree kind of approach here? It seems as if they may have been burning diesel because the Ceres is at port. Although from the looks of things, it seems as if it's only just arrived. This is 1938 shipping, so it's hardly, the train's running on time, as it were.
I could theoretically park us somewhere where they would not expect, like not on the land.
Uh-huh.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, you could just, or you could even do, I was going to say, because it would be appropriate for Jack Simon to jump out of a flying machine at least once without a parachute. You could do like a flyby, and I could, hop out the side and drop into the water and, start climbing up the side while you guys go from the other direction.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
So, Sayla, you're along with your flying Jaguar. Jack, why don't you give us a stealth check?
All right. Let's see how stealthy I am.
Because I don't have any doubt that you're going to be able to do this successfully.
Where is
Stealth is under dexterity.
Stealth is under dexterity. Oh, I'm not too bad. Let's see.
Two. So
Yeah.
we see, the door opens up, and what do you? I'll let you describe it. What does it look like as you drop to the deck of the Ceres?
So Jack
Or did
just
you want
says,
to go in the water first and then climb up?
Yeah. So Jack says, give me a low by there, and we see the Jaguar come by, and it sort of tilts a little bit so Jack can open it up and just hop out and does a dive, a classic, like a swan dive down into the water, and then we see him kind of, hand comes up on the side of the rail as he's pulling himself over.
Okay. What about Eric? What's your? I guess one thing you guys would have had a chance to talk about. How do you want to approach this?
I was going to say, I mean, out of all of us, Eric is the stealthiest.
Yeah.
So that's very much kind of where he is. He wants to get on the ground and go ahead and summon the smoke to surround him and encompass him in darkness.
Okay. So maybe, do you think you're dropped off? Looking at this is a grain, ship that's being unloaded in the photo, but I thought it was a good depiction of sort of without a whole bunch of people around. You can picture maybe this is or something like where it is being dropped off. Do you think, would Sayla drop you off further back and then you'd make your way up? Or maybe near in here? Or on the roof of one of these places?
That's actually, I was thinking right there, kind of around the corner here.
Yeah. So you can picture the car moving along, and then Eric steps out onto the side, and then go ahead and give us a stealth check. And if you're using any of your abilities, remember to adjust your dice pool and let us know narratively what's going on.
Good Lord, how would I get that many dice in here?
Would
it be sufficient if I rolled it twice?
No. If you roll it, it'll prompt you for modifiers. Just put however many extra dice.
Oh, put however many extra dice.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead. There we go. And that would be
another...
and
Sayla, I think you're back up to 4 inspiration as well.
Oh, that's right, because of the one that... Right. Oh, shoot. He's behind the...
Oh my gosh.
No,
all those dice, that's all I got? What the hell?
Oh, man. Okay, so you step out. You are also kind of engulfed. Well, yeah, sorry, I'm describing it for you. Why don't you tell us, what does it look like as Eric steps out?
So he steps out onto the dock, kind of around that building, and he leans kind of up against it, and again, this kind of mist, this smokiness, just kind of comes up over him, and when it passes away, he's gone.
Cool. Okay. So you guys would have had time to talk about your plan here. What are you guys thinking?
I would think, we've got Jack going in from one side. I'll be coming in from the other. They definitely won't see me.
I mean, we could totally split up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, because you've got those, those boots of airwalking.
Yeah, if I need them to get away, for sure.
Yeah, you could use those to walk.
And when you activate them for a scene, Sayla, that means the entire scene is going to be active. So this whole exploring the ship kind of thing. So
okay.
If you need, if you wanted to say park the car, hovering, because again, the mist is really fucking thick, the fog's really thick. Park the car hovering there and then walk across the air to get on board. You can make use of those your ether step boots for
get back to the car as well, is what you're saying.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. I like that. So we're gonna totally spread out, and where am I gonna pick you guys up? That's the key of.
So what do you guys think are the important parts of the ship to explore then?
I mean, the first thing I could think of is the cargo hold.
Cargo hold, most definitely, yeah.
Someone should check that. Someone could check to to see if we can get a hold of like the manifests or the like that kind of thing, the ports, the logs.
Probably on the bridge or maybe the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
Pilot house. Yeah.
Someone could go to the bridge, someone could go to the captain's quarters, and someone could go to the cargo hold.
This is also the type of game where interrogation can actually yield useful results too. So
so maybe we want to interrogate someone.
Yeah, just let me know when.
Well, who's really good at that? Yeah, is that you?
Yeah, that'd be me.
Well, then why don't you go to the captain's quarters? Because if the captain is there, then you can interrogate him. I'll try to check the control room, and Jack can check the cargo hold, because that's got to go. That's the deepest into the ship and probably the most dangerous as far as running into people if there's any trouble. Whereas I can kind of walk right up to the control room and maybe slip in a window, like through the using my boots.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Because I can move through the ship unseen, so I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
So then, which of you guys wants to have the spotlight on him first?
Well, why don't we do it in the order of the drop off that we
Sure.
kind of did there?
So we describe Agent Simon. You pull yourself up on deck, and you can hear there are men moving about on deck, and you don't know what language it is, but it sounds kind of Russian to you. A more worldly person may think one of the Eastern European dialects, but sounds kind of that kind of region to you. They also seems that there are some who are giving instructions to others, and there's quite a few of them, and they're fairly armed. This is what the ones giving the instructions seem to be like. Definitely dressed in a kind of rustic Eastern European kind of vibe. They all have big knives on them, and this is. Hold on here. Should check this beforehand. (1931) is the release of Dracula from Universal Pictures. So they sound like a Bela Lugosi imitator.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do my best to stick to the plan. Can I tell if it sounds like they're moving cargo, maybe if they're giving out orders and all that sort of stuff. So
definitely, yeah. There's a big kind of like crane in the middle of the ship that would be unloading stuff from the big cargo hold. They don't seem to have that open yet. So if they've been in port, it seems like it's probably not for very long. There's a whole lot of these, Lugosi sounding. We'll call them the Lugosis. There's a whole lot of the Lugosis on board here. That's probably an easy and racially tinged way of referring.
Offensive. Yeah.
Yep, safe way of referring to it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Okay. So, with that in mind, to get down to the hold where a lot of the activity is going to be, I think it's going to be a challenge 3 stealth check.
Here's hoping you kind of blow this one so we can get some combat as you beat the crap out of these guys.
I know a henchman when I see one. Come on, buddy.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get down to the cargo hold stealthy-like. I can spend an inspiration to get double my dice, right?
Yep. Once per scene, you can spend inspiration to get double your dice.
All right. I will spend an inspiration to be rolling. How many is that? 6, 12 dice plus 6.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's see.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So tell us how fucking badass it is, because you're going to get a point of inspiration back for rolling 5 successes or more.
Oh, nice. Right. So Jack is he kind of looks around, and he's, you can tell that he's, this big guy. He moves pretty quiet when he gets going, right? He's got this kind of, he kind of peeks around a corner and sees some guys coming, and comes back, and he's, almost holding his breath, trying to suck in his chest so that they don't see him as he comes around the corner, pressed up against the wall, and they just, come by, and he just goes, hopping down the stairs right after them after they came up.
May I suggest something?
Yeah.
So as you can hear, we see you walking along a hallway, getting down into there, and we hear some Lugosis coming in your direction. You kind of do a ho, ho. We cut to them walking down, talking to each other, smoking these like ratty old cigarettes. They walk past. They don't see you whatsoever. Camera goes back to an empty hallway, slowly pans up, and we see you holding yourself up. And then just poof, you drop down, making no sound whatsoever, and you walk into the cargo hold. From your vantage in the cargo hold, you can see that there are there's a lot of either laborers or Lugosis who are at work here. But in the center of it, it seems like there's a bunch of crates and whatnot that are set in here. They're all speaking in either Turkish or some kind of like Eastern European dialect. And in the center there is what looks to be 2 fairly new big shipping containers. And they're sort of set aside, and they look quite different from the others. But it definitely catches your eye. They seem almost as if they've been placed so that they can most easily be unloaded. Now, you've already made a successful, an amazingly successful stealth check here. So what would you like to do next? You only make another... You're going to be unseen until I tell you otherwise.
I think I need to, get over to them, obviously, or get in a position where I can kind of see what's going on with them. What kind of, I guess, from where I'm at, I see to have like a chain and a lock or something on them, keep them
sure
secure.
You make your way across kind of the gangplanks, and then or scrambling underneath if some of the Lugosis are up there. You look over, and there is definitely a lock on each of them.
All right. Lock is not likely to get broken without some noise. Lock is not likely to get picked by me.
So with you seeing the challenge that will prevent you from exploring it just yet, let's move the spotlight to next, I think, is Eric. So Eric, you were heading to trying to find the captain's quarters, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's once again, now you're infiltrating. Let's get you to make one more stealth check, and I think your ability, it lasts for the scene, doesn't it?
Yeah, stealth is doubled for the scene.
Fantastic. Go ahead and give us a stealth check.
All right. 1 modifier.
You got plus 6 to yours, right?
No, it's 8.
Holy shit! Oh,
My base stealth is 6.
Oh, so hey, just to be clear, no, your ability, your knack doubles the ability, not the ability and attribute.
Oh, well, shit on me.
Well, no, it doesn't make a huge difference.
That's just one of those. I always think about it being, the final dice pool.
Yeah,
that's just me. Got 5. Excellent.
Look who's getting an inspiration back too.
Thank God. I could use that.
What do we see as you are making your way across the deck?
Well, you don't really see much of anything. Let's see, what's the best way to describe this? Like, as he moves across the deck, of course, there's different items, and every once in a while, from like one item or side moving inward to another item, there's kind of this wisp of smoke that just kind of trails along the ground.
Okay.
And that's all that's really seeing is this smoke kind of going down, crossing up.
We see, another laborer kind of go, runs across the deck past the smoke, completely oblivious to it. And then we see you sort of step out, look back, look down, and you open up a porthole and make your way down into the interior of the Ceres. So as you make your way down, once again, we see maybe someone pass by. How would you think you find the captain's quarters?
The captain's quarters are going to have the nicest door.
Okay.
The door that looks the most expensive, I guess.
Ooh, let's do this. Then let's have... why don't you give us an investigation check then?
All right.
Maybe you've done some look into this beforehand, or you've encountered a similar layout of a vessel before.
There we go.
Easy.
Great.
Yeah, so it takes you almost no time. It's almost as if you knew directly where you were going. And you are now standing before the captain's quarters.
Let's see. I'm going to place my hand on the knob and just kind of just give it a slight turn left or right to see if I feel like a locked resistance or not.
Okay. It is, I think it'll be just a luck chance of whether whether he's in the quarters or not. Give us a D10 roll. I think at this time, because he's like they're docking and they're unloading, it's probably 30% chance of him being in here. So give us a 1 to 3 on a D10. He'll be in here.
Okay.
Okay, so that means the door is locked right now.
Okay.
But when has a lock ever kept you out?
Exactly. So I want to...
I think Legerdemain is the lock-picking skill, I believe.
Yeah, I don't have any points in that, but I could use my Frost Conjuration to basically freeze that whole mechanism, making it brittle, such that it could basically just be broken.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
For the Frost Conjuration, what is the dice pool for?
Let's see, when I'm using it for something like that, I've got it written down, bear with me.
Yeah. So I really wish
Back up here, Frost
I
Conjuration.
printed these out beforehand. I got on my phone here. Let's see here. Your Frost Conjuration.
It is willpower roll.
Willpower, yeah.
And the effect sustains itself, number of turns equal to successes. An area flash frozen becomes so frigid and brittle that it may shatter.
Love it. Give us an...
Used that way, it has a 3 dice lethal.
Sure. Give us a willpower check,
Plus
please.
1 for every 2. So let's roll willpower. That would be on an advantages side. Oh, I can't directly roll it. I have to do it by hand.
If you hover over the name, you can't...
Oh, how cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hover over the name of the willpower. That's awesome. Hey, I got 2.
So what do we see?
Extra.
Does it frost
Yeah,
over
see-
as you touch it, or does it? Is there like a little stream of frost, or what?
It's, once again, it's kind of that smokiness that oozes out.
Yeah.
And as it just moves over it, the frost follows behind.
Nice.
You know, if you've ever seen a time-lapse photo of frost forming, you know, where it kind of does that explosion of it,
Yep.
that's what it looks like, all this crystallization.
Okay. And then it easily breaks, and you find yourself in the captain's quarters. It's small. Even the captain doesn't necessarily have a luxurious, quarters, or has luxurious quarters in a ship like this. What is it you're hoping to find in here?
That's a good question. He's got to have his own logbook in here. Most captains will have some sort of logbook of their own. So I think that's the first thing. So there's a small desk in here. I'm visualizing, some of the compartments that I saw when I was in the service. And there's some of them, they've got like a little small desk and maybe a little small bookshelf with in this case, it would probably be string that's tied into the sides of it to hold those books from moving out. So that's where he's going to go immediately and search that area.
Sure. Why don't you give us another investigation check, please? Let's see what that yields. Awesome.
4.
Yeah, so I think you find slipped between 2 books. There is, you find like maybe what, because the proper logbook would I assume be on the bridge. But there's some.
The ship's log will be on the bridge.
Yeah. So you look through and you find, personal logbook.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it out. Do you think you speak? What would I don't know.
I speak German already.
Yeah.
I already speak German.
Do you have linguistics as a skill?
Yeah, so I've got 2 dots in linguistics. So
give us a linguistics check. Let's just see if you. We'll let that determine if you can read.
Check?
I don't know if it's Bulgarian or Magyar or what the language is, just because I'm ignorant of that. Let's see here. Fortunately, you've spent plenty of time around the Black Sea, so you start flipping through that, and we'll deal with what you uncover in a moment. Selah, what do we see for your infiltration?
Well, I think that she would park the car somewhere out of sight in the fog.
One thing I was just thinking of too is that that line from Wrath of Khan. His tactics show two-dimensional thinking, and I absolutely did that. Because you can walk on air, you could park 50 feet in the air or 100 feet in the air.
Exactly. Like I'm thinking up over the water.
Yeah.
Straight, like come then walk down to the ship kind of thing. Like just far enough where I can still see the lights of the ship, so I know where it is. Right. Yeah. I don't want to be lost.
Sure. Give us a stealth check, please, and I'll give you a +3 because of the way that you're sort of approaching the ship too. No one's gonna be thinking of looking above. At least hopefully. Stealth is under dexterity.
Yeah, because I don't have any stealth. So.
Okay. So just +3. Nice. So what do we see as Selah, reaches the Ceres?
Yeah, well, I mean, the one advantage of this is she's walking on the air, so the control room has to have some kind of outward view of the bow and the stern of the ship in order to control it. So she's coming up to the window essentially from above, like maybe even quietly onto the roof of the control room, and she's going to peek down in through the window to see if anyone is in there.
Well, and because you're ether step boots too, you don't even have to step on the roof, so there will be no
noise. I can actually be like an inch above the roof, so I'm not actually making a noise on it.
And I think that at this time, almost the only person who would be in there is going to be the captain. And there's maybe you maybe arrive and you see the captain's talking to someone else, maybe the first mate or whatever, and then that person leaves to go and follow whatever instructions were given. The door opens up, closes, and you can see that it is just the captain in there who seems to be doing something.
Okay, I'm gonna try and create a distraction to get him out of there for a minute, so that I can. So I'd like to do. Jeff doesn't know anything about diesel ships, but maybe there's something I can do that would trip one of his sensors or one of his pressure gauges or something. Something on the panel that the ship has got.
I can think of 2 mechanical ways you could try and do this.
Yeah.
One of them would be to use your etheric vision, sort of.
That would be cool. Like to see the actual flow of the.
Yeah, and then just go.
I like using her power.
Okay. So that'll cost you, I think, 1 inspiration to tap into that.
Maybe she doesn't know that much about diesel-powered ships.
So primitive.
Right?
It's like asking an auto mechanic to repair, I don't know, like a toboggan.
Right. Does this thing even use power?
Exactly. The easier thing with the more complicated technology is it's easier to figure out where to fuck it up. The simple stuff, how do you not just break it?
Yeah. So that power says spend an inspiration to see flows of power.
Yeah,
So,
so
I guess
what-
I don't even have to roll technically.
No, so you can see it. So let's do this then. Is it something that's going to be easily fixed, or is it going to be obvious that it's sabotage, or what are you thinking?
Well, I'm hoping to do something that I know if the captain goes and looks at it, it's something where I want it to take him 2 or 3 minutes, like something where it's not even worth finding another person. Like, it's not the kind of thing where he's going to see it and go find the mechanic or whatever. It's something where he's going to go, oh shit, and like put the thing back, put the valve back on or whatever, like something. I mean, he may think it's sabotage. I'm not sure. I'm going to try not to make it look like
so
that.
let's do this. So one success is going to do that successfully to drive him away. I'll set the difficulty at 2 for it to be not, so it's not sabotage. If you get 1 success, it's going to draw him away. But if you don't get 2, he's going to realize someone's been mucking with something.
Yeah.
I'm also going to give
sense.
you +2 to your roll because of your use of etheric vision.
Oh, nice. Okay, and this is engineering?
Engineering, please. Yeah.
All right.
Holy
Oh!
shit! You get your inspiration back.
Nice.
Now, we maybe see you walk across the air, you scamper on down somewhere. I'm trying to think of what do you guys think? What would be drawing this captain away? Actually, Will, you'd be the one who'd be best positioned to what would draw a captain off the ship. What do you think? Something to be non-emergent.
Yeah, normally he would probably have to, and especially in this case, he may very well be talking to the harbor master, and there
cool.
could even be bribing going on, perhaps to ignore certain cargoes, what they look like, things of that nature.
Yep. Okay.
So that would be a very good reason.
Okay, so you can see there's you create like there's maybe a message or something that a button that comes up on the ship or a light that comes up, and he swears in Bulgarian. Again, forgive my ignorance if that's not an actual language. So then turns and walks out. During our break, I'll look it up because it's driving me nuts that I didn't do that before. Well, it's one of those things like when
totally.
Yeah, one of my favorite shows talks about, or favorite podcast talks about this conspiracy theorist who thinks that at the Getty Museum that there are at night dogs that only respond to Yugoslavian. Yugoslavian's not a language. It's never been a language. People there speak Bosnian, Croatian, and whatnot. So I feel
Serbian.
like, oh god damn it, I'm that ignorant. Laughing at someone else, and now. So anyway, the captain, however, is easily drawn away. He walks out, and you're able to get yourself down into there.
Okay. Then I'm going to. Are you going to cut back then, or what?
Well, we'll let you make one more. Let's take one more step towards it. You get down.
Okay, because what I'm looking for here is obviously like logs, voyage information, manifest, anything I can find to.
So, why don't you give us an investigation check, please?
Okay.
And if you suck at it, a reminder, you have 2 options. You can spend inspiration, double your dice pool, or you could spend a willpower to get an automatic success.
I think I'm gonna actually use. I'm not gonna roll. I'm gonna use willpower for this.
Okay. You get to roll as well.
Oh, in case there's extra success. Okay.
Spending 1 point of willpower guarantees you 1 success.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So it adds to the total.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
all right.
then
So
it's 3.
All right. So you mark 1 will. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So a little bit of searching around, and you find, yes, it's the manifest. And you're looking at this, and the address for where this is going. Bear with me a second here. There are 2 cargo containers that are said to be from a Mr. Alucard, and that is such a. Let's see here. Yeah, there you go, Will. That's for you. And what you can see is that those two heavy cargo containers, they are slated for delivery to an address in Plaistow. Plaistow is a neighborhood in the East London borough of Newham. So there are two containers that were loaded in Varna that are to a Mr. Alucard. Now, would you give us, let's see here, I think an academics check. And this difficulty I think will be, I think it's going to be 2.
Okay. So now for this one, I'll spend my inspiration.
Okay, nice.
So, Kate, that's and you said that doubles your
So
attribute?
whatever your dice pool, no, it doubles your dice pool.
Okay. So academics. So instead of 7, it's 14.
So it's add when you click on the roll and then ask for your modifier, just put a modifier in of 7.
Yeah.
Holy
Nice.
shit. Get your inspiration back. You think back to that copy of Dracula sitting on the copy, and then I think you hold up maybe there's a mirror nearby. You hold up the name Alucard, and of course Alucard backwards is Dracula. And what you recognize as well, the address in Plaistow is a residence called Carfax. And in the novel Dracula, Carfax Abbey is the residence that Jonathan Harker helps Dracula purchase in London. It does truly seem as if he is being cheeky to the point of taunting you. Do you think the Count would be that careless? Or is he that brazen? You don't have much time to contemplate because the door opens. The first mate walks in, sees you, says, "Hey, who are you? What are you doing with that? And also, let's take our mid-session break." So we'll be back in 5 minutes, folks, to see what happens next. So back momentarily. All right. Since it is a special one-shot involving Nazi Dracula, we're having a second blood orange drink. Hot diggity damn.
Well, I just loaded up my glass. So.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Yeah, you were flying solo this weekend too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice.
I'm bachelor boy.
Nice. All righty. Oh, and we got your message last night too, Arlen, about not being able to join the Warcraft game, and I cannot think of a better reason than I'm spending too much time cuddling with my dog. So we were like 100% in support of that. No joke. The thing I like throughout the pandemic, I have gotten so used to at around like between 3 and 4 taking an hour just to go and cuddle with Anna Banana in the afternoon, take a nap and kind of, you know, like remarshal my my energies and whatnot, that she'll come and stand behind me and be like, hey,
come on, Dad.
Hey, Dad, it's time, come on. All right, so then I think we're all back. Let's cut back to Agent Simon. So you're looking down, and yes, there's definitely a heavy lock on these things, and a recently manufactured lock as well. Not to paint. Oh, and incidentally, Bulgarian. Bulgarian is the language. It is a language.
Yes.
That's only
Makes
means
sense.
that this is a situation of a stop clock being right twice a day. Did not know that before, so but good to learn. And Romanian. Romanian is also a language that has many different sub-dialects, including Wallachian, which is a sub-dialect of Romanian. Anyway, that's what I learned on my break. And the reason it's important is because Agent Simon, you had easily made up or kind of put together that there were different groups here. Most of the sailors are speaking Bulgarian, or one language. The Lugosi's are speaking a different language. So what would you like to do next, Jack?
Well, I'm thinking if we're going to cause a bit of chaos, that getting rid of the lights down here in the hold might be a good way to cause a bit of chaos.
I could see that, yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's like so my first thought is if there's like a control panel or something that I could, flip it off and then smash it so that they can't flip it back on. The other idea was I could just start shooting light bulbs, but that's going to make even more noise. So
let's talk about what the mechanical implementation of the options. So in order to find the thing to smash and then to turn all the lights off, there's going to be at least an engineering check there, and I'm not sure if that's really your strong suit.
Not really my strength,
but you also could, I think, with a difficulty of 3, bounce your shield off a couple of things, taking lights out and catching it back.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
I think with 2 successes, you'll take all the light. With 1 success, you'll get 1 light out, and then your shield won't return. 2 successes, you'll get all the lights out that you want, and it won't return. 3, you get them all out, and it gets back to you.
All right, let me look at this.
Okay. And that'll be, I think, athletics to throw it.
Well, I could spend some willpower.
Yep.
Can you spend multiple times, or is it just once per roll?
Once per roll.
But it
well, I
gives
can
you
spend-
one of those successes guaranteed.
Yeah, but that gives me one of the successes guaranteed, and then make the roll. That seems like the thing to do.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Athletics, no modifier.
Go. You just need 2.
Submit.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
All right. So you spend 1 willpower. What do we see as this, part of your shield ricochets around, and the lights all go out? Or how many of the lights do you want out? Is it all of them, or?
Oh yeah, I want all of them, and then catch the shield, and then I know I can't see in the dark,
Okay. But you probably have a
yeah.
flashlight on you, though.
yeah.
Okay. So you can hear a lot of shouting in 2 different languages now. What happens next?
All right. Next, gun comes out. 3 shots off in sort of random directions.
Okay. 3 shots go off in random directions, and let's see here. I think let's have you. I'm trying to decide. I don't think it's legerdemain, but I don't think it's firearms either. Because you're trying to, like, trick them, right? It's not like a careful shot you're making here. You're trying to sort of deceive them. Maybe.
Match it.
Do you have any dots in
Well,
subterfuge?
I'm not so much trying to deceive them that bullets are coming from different directions. I'm just trying to make it, sound like there's gunfire, so that they're
Oh, okay,
like,
then,
"Oh
yeah.
shit, what's going on?"
Okay, so then, yeah, it's you can hear more shouting and whatnot. They seem very, very distracted. There's a lot of banging around and shouting, and maybe one person manages to scramble for a flashlight at some point. But what do you do next?
All right, I'm going as fast as I can towards the locked container that seems special.
Okay, so you leap down from the platform you're on, when you land down. There is a lock on it. What do you want to do?
Yep. I'm thinking the rest of the bullets into the lock, and if that doesn't work, we're hoping the shield can finish the job.
The bullets are unlikely to get through because you're so. To give you a sense of the damage difference, your melee damage with your shield is what, 11 or something ridiculous like that?
12 damage. Is what
12 damage.
Yeah, shield melee strike.
Your heavy revolver has 4.
Oh, well then I'll just bash it with the shield.
Go ahead. Just roll. Yeah, an attack with a shield.
All right, shield melee strike. I'm just gonna click the button by it.
Oh, and 1 second here. You know what I'll do? Because I actually think the way armor works in this and like the difficulty or the toughness of things is much more elegant than the storyteller system. So let's see here. There's breaking things. Breaking things. Oh, you know what? I'll bet you. I guess I'm justifying the cost of my DM screen or the newsreader screen. That information is not on here. Well, I did look though. Let's say here we go. So the armor will be 3. So soak will be when I ask you for your damage modifier, just put -3 for that.
All right, attack modifier 0, damage modifier -3.
Bang! So you, with 1 solid hit, the lock is busted off of this thing. Sparks come from your shield. And you can kind of hear someone shouting in the darkness, not far off from you. What do you do?
All right, I'm gonna open it up and try to step inside and kind of, I'm hoping that there's a way to maybe like wedge my shield in the door. So maybe.
Well, if you're trying to are you trying to step inside there knowing that they're going to come over to you, or are you trying to have them to hide from them, as it were?
I'm basically trying to make it so that if they come over and try to open it, it's going to take them a second longer. But there's, yeah.
Well, I guess my question is whether are you trying to make a mechanically? Are we making a stealth check from you going in there, or do you not care if they know that you're in there?
Oh, that's true, because they can't see that the lock is destroyed unless they check.
Exactly.
So I will. Yeah, I'm gonna try to close the door behind me quietly.
Sure.
Try to go in.
So I think give us a stealth check at difficulty 3. Because like opening that thing, I can't imagine they're designed for like. Okay, make sure you oil the hinges.
Stealth check. Oh no! Makes a lot of noise as I go in.
Yeah, so and then 2 guys kind of wander over here. Hey, you can hear people talking in Hungarian, but yeah, I'll let you just jam the shield in there to prevent people from going in. Your flashlight's on and you're looking around. Jesus Christ, where are you? There are a bunch of. It's almost like an elaborate kind of a cross between an aquarium and a mad scientist's lab. Jars, heavy, with some sort of voltaic, devices attached to them. And you look around and inside there are eggs that seem to be gestating, and it's hot in here. And if you look, you can see something is moving, and they look like monsters. And just for a second, the thought, Dracula, doesn't that mean son of the dragon? And at the end, there is a large crate. And this is in comparison to the advanced, and again, we're talking 1930s advanced, so this is, lots of cast iron and stuff like that holding things in place. There's a row of about 12 of these things going along. And there's the pleasant little gurgling of the heaters that are keeping these things at an appropriate temperature. But at the end, there's a crate that fills almost the entire end of this shipping container. It is much cruder and much older. Like worn wood. Let's cut to Eric. So Eric, you've got this journal. You are able to read it. What is it you're hoping to find in here?
Any type of more personal notes, anything that looks not shipping related. So I'm looking at anything about a conversation with somebody. I'm looking for dollar signs. I guess it wouldn't necessarily be dollar signs, but something financial.
This crime we're involved in will make us so rich. Dollar, dollar, dollar.
Yeah, they're not going to be using dollars, but something like that too. That could be related to bribes, whatever.
Okay. So why don't you give us, let's see here. I think an academics roll. I'm going to see what you can make of this.
3 successes.
The captain, as I mentioned, is written in Bulgarian, and there's some reference to apparently like this was a very lucrative hire. They were actually hired to redirect their ship from elsewhere. They were actually somewhere in the South Pacific, and they ended up getting hired specifically so that their ship, the Ceres, could make this trip from Varna to England. Didn't really care that the person wanted to pay this much money. It was apparently a Romanian who worked it out through some kind of German official. There's also a reference to the extra amount that they paid to have other passengers travel with the cargo. The cargo was apparently of great value to those involved. There's a reference to the bearded man as well too, which you take to refer to good old the Palian terrorist Max Mustermann. And there also is a word that you've heard spoken of in rumors, and that is the Ruvari Zaganye.
Was there any kind of context to that name that I was aware of?
The Ruvari Zaganye
different.
translates to Wolframani. This is a secretive group said to work with a certain dread Wallachian prince. And the Ruvari Zaganye are the secret order, or a secret kind of group that seems to able to get everywhere across Europe and keep eyes on every city, but from the shadows. You've never really understood who these, these travelers or nomads worked for. You knew that there was some, and to be honest, the Wolframani can be a good source of information at times. You maybe have even drawn on them. But now you see a reference. The person who chartered the series insisted on these damned bossy Ruvari Zaganye traveling with it. And they are effectively the ones who are in charge of this.
Okay.
So every time you've come across them, every time you've dealt with them and traded information, you have been dealing with the Count. And at that, you hear kind of a pop, pop, pop sound. The sound of gunfire, while not your favorite weapon, is an unmistakable sound. It seems to be coming from somewhere below.
Americans and their firearms. So I think what he'll do next, I think the main thing he's going to do is he wants to make sure nobody else is coming out of any compartments heading downwards before he steps out.
Okay.
So he just kind of wants to maybe peek around the door, just kind of look and listen a little.
You already made a great stealth check from before, so I'm fine with you. You maybe hear people, but you're going to easily be able to avoid them. There will be no mistaking the broken door leading to the captain's quarters.
Oh yeah, somebody will find that for sure.
Are you taking his journal with you?
It's probably not a bad idea, honestly.
Okay. So maybe you spare a look back at it, and then once again there's that wisp when it appears in your hand as an afterthought. And then where are you heading?
So I guess I would be heading aft, probably because that's the way to get into the cargo hold from here, if I had to guess.
Okay. So you start making your way aft. All right, so let's cut back to Selah. So this guy has just come in and demanded to know who you are. Now, one thing I was thinking about, I didn't put this in the things, but do you think that your radium ray gun would have lethal and non-lethal settings? The upside to it is that you use it both ways. The downside is mechanically is that everyone has a soak, so like armor, equal to their stamina against brawling damage. There's brawling damage and lethal damage.
So from our intel, do I think that the people running this boat are bad, or do I think that they are essentially being employed? Like, what would my take be? I just want to think, like, does she think of them as like traitors and Nazis and working for the Neptunian that I'm after, or do I think of them as like civilians who have been?
I don't know.
Because I think, you know what I think? No, I think of them as traitors. So I don't even think that if she had the switch, she wouldn't even throw it. I think that.
All right. So here's what we do: is this is I think this is just a sailor, not a what do you call it?
Not one of the.
Not one of the Rudies of it. Yeah. Ruvari Zaganye. So let's just put, let's see here. I have poor Michael Bine. Here we go. It's the I was in Terminator. Cool, Mike. Cool. No, honestly, he's seen every interview that dude's been in. He seems like the nicest, most self-effacing dude. So I shouldn't make fun.
He seems like a real badass guy.
Yeah. All right. So then here's what we do: is you've got your initiative on your character sheet. There's 1d10 plus your dexterity plus your wits plus 11. Okay. So I'll roll for the guy here. Go ahead and make your roll there, Jeffrey. And I'll roll mine in a sec here. Okay, for this one,
I just want to mention I have this special knack of threat awareness. You always act before an attacker. You can see and gain +3 initiative for that round, reducing by 1 each round thereafter.
Yes, so you will be able to act, but let's just do for the first round. We won't worry about the initiative because you're going to be able to act before this guy. What do you do? I guess first thing is, what do you want to do this round? Think about what you want to do, whether you're taking one action or you're taking multiple actions. Do you think your radium ray gun is out, or would you have to draw it?
I think she would draw it.
Okay.
For sure.
So let me see.
I don't think she would have it out.
Okay. And then, let's see here.
I think she would draw her ray gun and move back towards the window that she came in through.
Okay. So you're not firing at him?
Not this round, no.
Okay.
But I am drawing my gun and putting it on him.
Okay. So I'm just wanting to double check one thing here. Here we go. Okay, it is 3. All right. So, mechanically, if you are going to draw the gun, move back, you can move is not part of your action. You're going to draw your gun, move back, and then fire if he does something. That will be multiple actions. So you'll take -2 to your dice pool, but it will ready that action for you.
Oh, well, I'm not necessarily readying a shot. I'm just pulling the gun on him and moving towards the window that I came in. I'm not going to ready to shoot.
Sure. And what does your Neptunian radium ray gun look like?
I think it looks smaller than you're expecting, and it's just got that very classic, like, soft, rounded cylinder shape, but pointed on either end, and
love it.
Like, totally, like, absolutely the classic ray gun, but like quite small, even in her hand.
Yep.
Just a.
So he, he looks down at you, and he says something in Bulgarian that you don't understand, but there are 2 words that come out in at least heavily accented English that sound very mocking. Those 2 words, Flesh Gordon. And he draws a knife and starts advancing on you.
Okay.
So that's first round. Second round, let's roll initiative. He is... you have +3 for this round, or +2 for this round.
Right.
So roll 1d10 plus whatever. I got a 10 in total.
1d10. So it would be, okay. So it's like +9 this round.
Technically, you would be adding your wowzers. All right, you would be deciding before we rolled what you're doing with your round.
Right. Yeah.
So what is it you're doing this round? He's going to reach you this round. It looks like he's either going to try and grab you or try and stab you, or perhaps both.
I'm gonna shoot him in the leg with my pistol.
Okay. What kind of is it? Like a little like what do you call it? Negative scratch that shoots out of your beam, or is it like concentric rings that come out, or is it a zap like a lightning bolt? What do you think?
I've always been a big fan of like the concentric rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Arlen and Will are very familiar with that sound.
But I like to put a little modern spin on it, like where it's like a little gory, like in like the old ones, it would hit them and then there'd be like no mark or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this, like if the rings hit your flesh, it's actually tears a little hole in you kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Little modernized.
Okay, so it sounds like
CGI.
that's a called shot.
Yeah.
But don't you have some kind of ability that gives you your perception thing? Isn't that the one that? Because you take only half the penalties and then you add it back as bonus dice. Isn't that what your ability does? Let's see here.
For which one?
Sayla, give me a sec here. Double range of all weapons.
Oh, 2 extra dice on perception rolls and double range of weapons.
Oh no! You know what? I'm thinking of Hobbs's character. He was
Oh,
he had
okay.
a work emergency.
Daredevil.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's an amazing ability.
Yeah, the Daredevils can be really cool.
All right, so then Sayla, so this cult shot will be the difficulty will be 2. He doesn't think this is an actual weapon, so I'm not letting him dodge this. So the difficulty will be what else? Yeah, the difficulty will be 2. Or hold on, no, it'll be -2. -2 to your roll, and then no modifier to the damage.
Okay, so do I click firearms? Is that the way?
No,
I do
go
this?
down to your weapon
Yeah.
or the combat thing.
Gadget.
Yep, your radiant ray gun. Under weapons or combat.
Okay, let me just change tabs. Combat and gear. There we go. Okay.
Yep, and then it'll prompt you for a dice pool modifier. That one will be -2, and there's no modifier for the damage.
Okay, and can I use anything like willpower or inspiration when you use a weapon?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Well,
use.
you can't use inspiration right now. We're still in the same scene, so you've already doubled a dice pool with inspiration. I think.
No. Yeah, I wasn't planning on using that. I wanted to use willpower to gain 1 hit, but I mean I don't have to do that either. I'll just roll. So I put -2.
-2, yeah.
Whoops, not -20.
Okay.
Damage modifier, nothing.
No modifier for damage. Oh.
Oh.
So, there are, like in a lot of these like high cinematic games, there are minions. Minions only can take 3 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
And if you roll 3 extra successes, you also take them out and don't roll damage. You just take them out from 1 hit. This will vaporize his leg if you like. So it's just his leg is completely like just torn away by this ray. He screams and thump hits the ground.
Yeah.
He's, I think, unconscious. And do you think your radium ray cauterizes as well, or is he bleeding
Yeah,
out?
absolutely. Like
Okay.
I think it's like
So,
just
sorts
erases
his
a
leg off.
strip of his leg. Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing next?
Then I'm going to head out the window that I came in.
Okay. So you turn and step through the through the air, dive out the window, and then you now can hear pop, pop, pop from elsewhere in the what do you call it? The ship from down below. It seems.
Okay.
Okay. So then, what are you doing?
Well, I will then head back to the car. So I'm running through the air towards the flying car.
So you trust your allies will handle the what do you call
Well,
it?
I'm going to try and I'm assuming they're going to be fleeing, so I'm going to be trying to pick them up off the boat.
Sounds good.
Basically.
So we see Sayla disappear up as she runs up, into the fog. Let's cut back to Jack. You can hear bang, 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 banging at the door. Someone is trying to get in through the that locked cargo container door. But there's this box at the end. What are you doing, Jack?
I think I'm gonna try to, hope that the door holds for a little bit longer and open up the box.
Okay. So you make your way down to the box, and what is your combined strength and might dice pool?
Strength and might is 9.
So you get over there and with one hand crack the lid off of this thing. It's dirt. Earth. specifically.
That's weird.
Would you give us an academics check, please? Difficulty here will be 2.
All right. Yeah, I'll just roll the dice, see what happens. Oh no.
So, you know what to make of this.
So Arlen knows a little bit about what's going on, but yeah, Jack is sort of.
This is the absolute best situation is when the player knows, and you're like, God damn it, my character doesn't fucking know.
Jack kind of sort of leans over and he's sort of sniffing at it, like if it's fertilizer, if there's something planted in there or something.
It's loamy. It's really like this has been recently. It feels like it's been recently unearthed. This is not like dry, dusty mud or something that's been sitting around for a long time. This is something that's been shoveled. And it has a. Give us an awareness check, please.
Oh no.
Okay. Huh. Boy.
That's not good.
That German and that Australian lady, they seem to be pretty clever. Boy, I wish they were here.
Yep.
Bang, 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 bang at the door.
What are you doing? All right. Don't know what's going on with the dirt. It's kind of weird. Maybe they're growing some plants or something.
I'm assuming you haven't like looked in it. You're just looking, like you haven't moved your, like try to dig around, see if anything's buried in there. You just looked at it. If I've got that wrong, let us know.
I probably would at least reach, kind of like scrape off to see if the dirt is like covering something, maybe.
Yeah.
Scrape a hand through it.
Okay, so you push a hand through it. Oh, and there is something buried in here. You sort of push it back, and it's like a off-white. It looks like a bone.
Like a human bone, or a
maybe.
So I'll reach and try to pull this bone out of the dirt, see if I can.
So
get
because you are so strong, you're easily able to, like, it takes you like what's stuck in here, and you pull it up, and what's being pulled up. What's the thing that is at the? It's not the. Is it the Smithsonian in? No, what's the one in New York that has the big T-Rex skeleton in it?
Museum of Natural History?
Museum of Natural History, okay. We've got one.
There's the Field Museum in Chicago has.
Yeah, the Field Museum's in Chicago,
and the Drumheller Museum, actually, out near mine. We got a big T-Rex thing, too. You can pull it up to the snout, and it's a T-Rex's skull that's buried in here.
That's pretty weird.
You look down and like, what the? There's something's leaking in here because there's mist beginning to form. And you look around at one of the. Are these things leaking? But this whole container seems to be filling up with some kind of whitish mist or smoke of some kind. Eric, we cut to you, and you sort of have now appeared at one of the upper level, the gangplank, kind of looking down at the darkness that's in here. Do you have anything that lets you see in the dark? Eric?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I was looking just to see.
So let's do this. Why don't you give us an awareness check, and we'll give you a minus. I think a -3 on this. Jack does seem like he's tried to make this really dark. But you are quite things. Okay, so you can easily sort of pick out where, even in the darkness, your eyes adjust quite naturally to it. You can see there are. There's a bunch of them seeming to mill around, but there are now 3 of these. 3 individuals at least. You're not sure if they are what do you call it? The Rovari. the Azagani, or if they're just the Bulgarian sailors. But there's 3 of them that are kind of banging at one of these shipping crates that's in there. It's your first time seeing this, but this must be the 2 that are referenced in the journal. And with a roll that good, I think you can also see that they're, or maybe you just hear they're talking about the lock's off. He's in there. Who's in there? I don't know. Get it open. And at least 2 of them have guns on them.
How far away is this from where I am right now?
It's probably... Hey, sweetie. Anna. Hey. She's so satisfied with herself after barking. Barks her a bit and kind of snorts. Now you told him, hey? Goober. The hounds, the children of the night. What you can see, this is probably like the hold of the ship is probably what, like maybe 2 stories from the bottom to where the
I would say at least 2 stories from.
Yeah. So, and you're kind of on the top, so that's sort of where you are in relation to them. And there's there's like rigging and whatnot that's sort of around in different places. What are you thinking?
But I'm still stealthy, so I could at least move up closer without anybody really seeing me or noticing it.
Yep.
Yeah,
no
so
problem.
that's what he's going to do right now.
Okay, so you get yourself down to just outside of this thing, or just sort of near where they are, and you can hear them.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the one that has the gun.
And I think by the time you get there, you also hear kind of tung, 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 someone else is coming down, and they very much look like... Here, and actually I'll change the name here. They're not just bossy Europeans. They are... the Rory Zaganye. One of them comes down, and strapped to his side appears to be a Tommy gun, or at least some equivalent thereof. And he demands to know what's happened. And if you speak Bulgarian, you rolled quite well in your linguistics, didn't you? Yeah, you've been in that area.
Yeah,
you picked up enough Romanian, when you're in the region to recognize that this guy's speaking Romanian to these two. And he's asking, what's going on? So now there's 2 guys with guns, 1 guy that seems to have a heavy pipe, and then there is a guy with a submachine gun.
I'm thinking I want to get one of the ones that's beaten on the container.
Okay.
I think that's where I'm going to go for. So I think I want to use Frost Conjuration.
Okay.
And throw out some ice.
Okay. So what is the attack roll on that? I can't...
8.
Oh, is
8
this
dice.
is this the one that's the weird combo of...
I don't think it's cross... Well, I think it's... Is it... Oh, I read it. Hold on. Yeah. Back over here. Frost.
Oh,
When you use range attack, is awareness as a standard ranged attack roll. So I think my awareness is 8.
Yep. Go right at it. There's no way he can dodge, and he has no lethal soak on this, because I think it's a lethal attack, right?
Yeah, lethal dice.
Yep. No lethal. So here's again.
Oh, no damage.
No, but remember,
if
it's a minion, so if you roll 3 extra successes like you did...
That's right.
So what do we see as the... Which one is it that you're taking on? The one with the pipe?
No, the one with the pistol, for sure.
So the one with the pistol is trying to... what do we see as this ice thing takes him down?
Yeah, so Eric throws out his hand, and you see some of the mist kind of form around his hand, and then all of a sudden you just start to see these shards of ice just kind of shoot out.
Nice. One guy slams against the door, goes down. The other's like, whoa, and are trying to look over and see where you are. I think that your stealth is not going to apply until you try and take an action to try and hide again. For now,
right. I'm done.
All right,
yeah.
So let's do this. We'll add you and Jack and Sailor. When you think you would be back in the scene here, you can let us know how you think you'd be rejoining. And then let's grab where is he here? Boom, boom, boom. Where are you? Here we go. Boom. Oop. Let's give them turns. All right, so then, Jack, you're inside the thing that it's filling up with mist, seemingly. Maybe something's leaking. Eric, you are outside. I'd like you guys to decide what you want to do with your round. You don't have to tell us. You just have to just decide for yourself. Decide whether you're taking more than one action or not. And then I will roll 1 dice for the Mignones here. I got a whopping... Guys, this is going to be a tough one. Beat my total of 8. Go ahead.
All right.
So if you're triggering your ability, if that's what you're considering...
well, I'm wondering how many actions things count as. Oh, it doesn't affect my initiative if I'm doing multiple.
Not your initiative. Just
actions.
it'll if you just decide what it is, it'll affect your dice pools.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll roll initiative normally.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing.
Nice, 13. Okay. 13, and then what was your roll there? 9. Ooh,
Barely.
okay. All right, so then, Jack, you're up first. What are you doing?
Jack is interested in getting out of the weird mist-filled room because, his older brother died in 1918 and it might have been gas.
Yeah, like an older brother. Love it.
Yep.
Okay.
So he's really, not interested in standing around breathing whatever this is. So he's going to hop over to the other end and reach down and grab the shield and basically kick the door open.
Okay. I'm going to do you one better for this is you just run to the end. Remember, your shield was jammed in the door, right? Mm-hmm. Pull the shield, you slam the door open, and I'm going to let you make an attack on one of the henchmen as the door swings open.
All right.
So go ahead and give us a melee. I think I'll give you because it's sort of an oblique attack. I'll give you a -3, but you can use the damage for your shield against that because this is your full super soldier weight.
Nice.
7 damage.
Wow.
I think I should have okay, so the shield has accuracy 3, which means +3 dice to the pool.
Yep.
And my melee skill is already 5, but I get my attribute on top of that, right?
Yep.
Normally.
Yep.
Oh, so the sheet isn't calculating my dexterity in there, so I need to change the numbers.
In the attack, it isn't.
No, it's only because it only rolled 5 dice, and it's meaning that my normal pool was 8.
Yeah.
But my natural melee pool is already 9 with the dexterity plus the melee.
Let's see here. Why is that screwing up? Melee. Oh, but you were at -3. That's why it only rolled 5. Remember?
Yeah, but it didn't add my attribute, is what I'm saying. It just rolled the skill.
No. But what was your attribute?
Was 4.
So your dice pool should have been what, 8?
My dice pool should have been like 12 because it's 3 for the shield, plus 4 for the attribute, plus 5 for the melee skill, right?
Oh, I wonder why it did that then.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Yeah, I think it just didn't add the attribute correctly when I selected melee. So let me see. Combat and gear, shield, melee, strike. Let me try it again with no modifier and see if it selects it. No, that's only 8. Let's see if brawl works because my brawl is the same as my melee, I think. Yeah. No, my strength is 1 better.
It rolled 8 dice, so it's not including your accuracy bonus. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not including my attribute bonus, my dexterity. It's just doing the melee skill value plus the 3 dice from the weapon, but not including the attribute associated with the skill. So I can just up accuracy to 7.
Yeah, so what we need to remember to do then is to add in whatever your oh, there you go. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, just up the accuracy by whatever the attribute is. So that rolls enough dice. Okay, but hit him and send him flying.
Yeah,
anyway,
so he goes flying across the thing, slams up against it. It's one of the guys with the pistols as well, too. That was all your actions?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Eric, what are you doing?
I am using Psychic Hand. because I have a feeling I'm going to get shot at. So I'm going to go ahead and spend inspiration.
It's like
to
you're
activate
psychic.
that. Yeah. So that gives me a base, an additional 3 bashing and 3 lethal soak.
Okay, nice. All right, so then you are good to have done that because is that all your actions are? Or all of your actions?
Yeah, that's all he's doing this turn.
Okay, so then the one with the pipe was going to go after... Actually, no, he's going to hang back because this other guy is about to unload with a submachine gun at you. So he says something probably not flattering in Romanian. And then, let's see here. His... what is the soak that you've got?
So it's the psychic hand gives +3 to each, and then my stamina gives me a 2 bashing.
Oh, to lethal. This is, you can't soak.
Okay, and that's what I wanted to know. I didn't know if you were using the lethal soak or not.
Yep.
So yeah, just 3 lethal.
This is the killing kind of gun. All right, so then I'm rolling 11 dice because it's an auto things, but the difficulty is... Hold on. I remember how this works. Automatic fire, here we go. +10 dice, but it's at +2 difficulty. Okay, so I need a minimum of 3 in order to hit you here. Let's roll 11d10. 1, 2 successes. So, he's firing at you.
Yep.
It sprays all over the place. Minions roll 1 dice for their skills. Regardless of what their stats are, they only ever roll 1. So that's for the 1. He has unloaded on you without success, Eric. Although bullets are all ricocheting around you. The other guy, he would have to spend a willpower for this, but he's going to try and hit you, Jack. I don't think you care about the... well, you've already taken your actions. You can't abort at this point. Here we go. Swings at you. You easily duck out of the way. End of the round. Guys, top of the round, everyone decide what you want to do with your round. And then go ahead. Once you've decided, go ahead and roll your initiative.
Just as a...
Oh, go ahead.
As a really quick question,
Yep.
My shield, the armor that it provides, do I have to do anything to get that, or is that just automatic?
Automatic.
Awesome.
I built it so that I assume that you've always got it. I built it as the body of bronze gadget, so that it is narratively you're always going to have it in the way when you need to, unless like you don't have the shield on you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, yeah.
So decide what you're doing, guys. Once
go.
you've decided. Sorry, Jeff, you had a question?
Yeah. When did this scene start in relation to where I was?
This is probably, I mean, this is enough time has passed for Jack to take out, to jump down into there, break the lock, get inside, start looking at all the weird shit, make his way to the back of the container, yank the thing off, pull the T-Rex skull out, see the mist form, and then make his way back, and then hear the shout outside, and then burst out of there. So you can feel free to insert yourself in whenever you like here.
Okay, and are they still in the cargo hold?
They're
or
still in the
deck of
cargo
ship
hold,
now?
which is still closed.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to, excuse me, start taking some actions too.
Well,
I'll add you in the initiative order here. You just have to roll initiative.
okay. I mean, I have an exciting way to enter the scene, depending on if you're what you want to rule here.
Well, what are you thinking? Are you
Well,
going to drive through the roof?
No, yeah, she's gonna crash the car like through either the hull of the ship or
Yep.
the
Love
deck
it.
of the ship
Okay.
down into the.
Yep. So go
like
ahead and roll
cargo
your.
area.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your initiative.
Okay.
Sweet.
Whoops.
Okay. Can you guys change your initiative trackers, the numbers in them, or do I have to do it?
Yeah, for any characters we control, we should be able to change them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But when I roll my number, it should automatically change it.
It will not. You'll have to enter it.
No, because it's not it's not a.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not. And yeah.
So Salo is 14. Can you put 14 on the initiative tracker for
Yeah,
yourself?
I
Salo?
will. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you can, I'll just get you guys to update
Then
once.
you can just resort it, right?
Yeah, perfect. And then Eric,
Okay.
14 as well. Go ahead, put down.
So,
So Sayla would act before you because she's got the higher initiative bonus.
yep.
So let's put your 14 in, and then I will put it in descending. There we go. Jack, you're up first. What are you doing?
All right, I'm gonna smack the guy with the submachine gun with my shield.
Go right ahead.
Nice.
And I'm gonna go. There we go. Combat gear. Let's hit him.
Nice. So what do we see is you take if you had spent what do you call it, inspiration, you'd get a point back right now. Mm-hmm. So what do we see as
So
you take
So we see Jack, he smashes through the door and sends one of them flying. He kind of spins around backwards, and it's like a backhand, like a clothesline movement almost, as he knocks the other guy to the ground. And then, oh shit, I should have taken a penalty if I wanted. Nope, I'm not going to do multiple things because I should have taken the penalty.
Okay.
So I'm just going to stand there and, say, Eric, do something. I guess I don't know if Eric's
So
there.
there's-
Although I might think that Eric was causing the mist because I don't know who's causing the mist, and Eric did come in last time that way. So I'm going to say, Eric, you in here?
No, I'm over here.
you look over. All right, then you hear the sound of like ding as your shield hits the guy. Then you hear dong as he hits the side of the ship, slides down completely unconscious. Then it is Sayla. What happens next?
Okay, so next you hear a horrendous crashing and sort of the gentle sounds of the little engines of the car as she comes smashing into the cargo
So
hold.
give us I think it's going to be
Piloting?
piloting. I'll put the difficulty at 4 to not damage the hover components and to pull it off. So
Okay, do I have anything that helps me on this? No. I mean, I can just use willpower. I might as well use one willpower to get one
okay,
success.
so that means it's really just you need 3 more from your actual roll.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll change that, and then here we go. Piloting.
One sec. Check your what do you call it? The inspirational things. Is there anything right underneath your stats? The inspiration advantages. Is there anything there that fast thinker, spend inspiration to add 1 dice to a dice pool for 1 roll involving an instant mental reaction? Or I can wait. That's a resisting stuff, so that's not that one. Good things come.
Yeah, which is like something if I'm doing a focus task.
Yeah. This seems. Oh, you know what? This is definitely going off script from your thing. So I think I'm gonna. It's gonna cost you a willpower to do this.
Nice.
Because the plan was to meet up. So your vice is triggered. Like
Okay, so it costs a second willpower to basically to go off plan.
exactly because of your
this
character's
is not
nature.
what she normally does. Absolutely.
Shakes his head again, just like Eric. Americans.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no penalty on this.
Yep. There you go. Beautiful.
Nice.
So the doors bend the way they're not intended to, as bang, and this hovering Jaguar, like a 1938 Jaguar, is above you guys. Eric, what are you doing?
Let's see. So you took out the submachine gun guy, right,
So
Jack?
it's pipe guy left, right?
Yeah, there's a guy with a club left.
Yeah. So there's no more bad guys right around us.
No, there's a guy with a
No, there's a guy with a
metal
pipe.
pole. Yeah.
Oh, the guy with the pipe is still there. Okay. Yeah. So that's the guy I'm using Frost Conjuration on.
Okay.
So that is. Let me get over the character sheet. Combat. And go.
Go.
No modifiers. Okay, get on with it.
I like that. Somebody's getting another point of inspiration back.
Woo! Good.
So what does it look like as this one goes down?
So again, there's just this, this mist kind of begins there at his hand, and it kind of vanishes off, and then shows up again right as these ice crystals just come shooting out these shards of razor sharp.
So
right
this
into his
guy
chest.
with the club, you sort of knock the other guy. You look over at Eric, and this guy's like, about to try and hit you from back, and then taken out by ice dart. So we can drop out of initiative order right now because there are people. You can hear more of these minions are definitely coming in here. Sayla, you got the window down, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Jack, you look back, and that mist is beginning to sort of like spill out from the inside of that container, and maybe it's just the ship creaking, but it sounds like a low growl is filling the hold.
All right. So Jack turns to Eric and says, Eric, there's a dinosaur skull in there in a crate and a bunch of lab equipment and stuff. I don't know what's in the other one.
Okay. Vel?
The mist continues to pour out from this container. The growling sounds louder, and the mist seems to be beginning to swirl and coalesce.
Would science help me at all here?
Why don't you, if you look in the crate...
Yeah. Look, because the doors are open now.
Yeah, the doors are open, just there's no light in there. So maybe, let's say, like, Jack, give us an academics check. You look down there, and Jack sort of, lights the end of the container for you. Because you can see that thing. Holy shit. As many inferences that you want to take for bones in a dirt-filled crate from Wallachia, you feel free to make those assumptions about your character knowing it.
Yeah.
So you what you see, Jack, is you're like, so, do you make anything of that? And you look over, and Eric's face has an expression of what, Will?
The color drains from his face because all he can think about is blood-sucking dinos.
The roar that comes around you as the mist continues to coalesce seems to reinforce that assumption.
We must scuttle the ship.
All right, how do we do that?
Good question.
Sailor, what are you saying? You obviously didn't hear what's going on down there. You're just going to see this mist beginning to form.
Well, I mean, theoretically, maybe I could use my ray gun to pierce the hull.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if you can hear. Well, give us an awareness. You know what? You got that really incredible. Remember, you get +2 for your perception because of your Neptunian physiology. So let's see. Maybe you for sure. You can hear every word they're saying, so feel free to interact with them.
Yeah. So I think that like she's just like the door flies open and she's coming out and she pulls out this, like I said, this absurdly tiny ray gun, and she says, "If you can give me some time, I might be able to sink the ship." And she starts firing at the deck of the ship straight down.
Okay. So you start doing that. Jack, what are you making of all this?
All right. So Jack sees Eric's reaction. We must scuttle the ship. He goes, all right. The other box, we want to check that.
So
we're going to scuttle the ship. So
as you guys are talking, the mist begins to form. And what you very shortly find towering over you
Zombie Godzilla.
And I say towering, I mean like this thing is 20 25 feet tall, fills this hold.
It would have burst to the container, wouldn't it?
No, it formed like the mist spilled out and then formed above you. I would like geez, Jack and Eric to make a, let's say, a difficulty 3, and Sayla, because you're seeing this and like, what in the good moons of Titan? I guess Titan is a moon, but it is in keeping with the, the era's scientific accuracy. Would you each give us a willpower check against willpower 3, please? Difficulty 3.
How do we?
If we've spent willpower, how do we?
Your score, but you're always rolling with your full amount.
Oh, okay.
The consequence is basically going to be like you're going to lose 3 points of willpower minus 1 for every success you get. So Eric loses 1 point of willpower from this.
Is there a way to roll it? Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Jack, you lose 1 point of willpower from this. Sayla, like you've seen worse things.
Yeah.
Okay, you're like, huh, that's curious. And Eric and Jack are staggering back. All right, guys. So while you guys are shooting, let's.
I think it's more like along the lines of, well, that's exactly what I expected that they were making.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that looks about right.
All right, so the son of the dragon. We'll put him in the. Give him a turn as well too. Everyone decide what you want to do with your round. Let me pull up. You know how long I've been waiting to have a flying car, a ray gun, a super soldier, a vampiric Tyrannosaurus Rex, all in the same scene? This was published in what, 1999? So
2001 was
2001.
The
Oh, right, yeah, because it was a rough year for publication. All right, so then each of you, when you're ready and you've decided what you're doing, go ahead and roll your initiative and adjust your score.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the stats for this thing.
I don't have to adjust anything.
No, nice. 14,
Nice.
17, 13. Awesome. All right, so, that's not bad, not bad. Okay, everyone's got their numbers in there. All right, then, Jack, and you know what I'll do is I'm going to... there's not a hit point mechanic in this, but just so you can kind of track what is...
Damage.
Yeah, so you guys can see sort of the progress you're making. If you are going to punch this thing, I'll give it a little health bar. All right, so then... first up is Jack. What do you got?
All right. Unfortunately, Jack can't say stand still, don't move. He can't see us if we don't move. But that would be pretty funny. But no, Jack is he's basically gonna stand. So Sella's down and firing at the ground basically.
Yep.
Jack's gonna sort of stand in between this thing and it, and he's gonna try to smack it in the nose if it tries to bite at him.
It is absolutely going to try and bite you guys. So go right ahead and make your attack. This is making no effort to try and avoid. The soak on this would be... Hooba Chuba, 7.
All right, so that's penalty to damage.
Yes, penalty to damage.
All right, damage modifier -7.
Nice. Okay.
Wow.
So what do we see as you get in there?
Well, I was picturing, this thing kind of, like a, Lord of the Rings when the fell beast attacks Eowyn or something, and Jack sort of leans aside and smacks it on the nose, and, we hear a crunch of bone underneath the shield a little bit.
One other thing I've forgot from before, I don't think this adds automatic successes in, so you can actually roll 1d10 extra.
Okay. Another d10.
Yeah, so 7 or higher is another success. No success. Okay. All right. So then this thing comes in and you kind of bonk it in the jaw as it's coming in. It roars, furious in response. Eric, what are you doing?
Eric's gonna throw some frost conjuration on that bad boy.
Okay. So the soak is 7 again.
Oh, only 1 damage.
No, but roll
Good
5
hit.
extra dice. Roll 5d10.
Oh.
Yeah, because it doesn't automatically calculate the extra successes. So that's 2 more successes. So that's 3 points of damage. Nice.
Cool.
So your thing sinks into this, and it blows a hole through its desiccated body. Not a huge hole, but it's hurt. Is that it for you?
Yeah, that's all Eric's doing this round.
Okay, Sayla, what are you doing?
Well, at this round, Sayla is continuing to fire down through the deck, trying to basically poke a hole in this.
Yeah. So let me just. I know there is.
Do you want to do like a task number?
Yeah, I'm just going to give you the armor.
Like
you're automatically going to hit, so it's just a matter of the armor of the ship here. Oof, ba-boof. So it's going to be tricky. It automatically has 10 successes. There's the way they model like really tough things or really damaging things is you get automatic successes against things. So this automatically has 10. Hold on, how does this work again?
You sound about right so far.
Yeah, I think that I still don't know how that differs from. Well, I think it's unlike the other kinds of soak where if it reduces.
Armor
If it reduces it to 0, so you're going to need to roll at least 10 successes on damage here, Sayla.
Okay, yeah. And can I do that over consecutive turns is what I'm getting at? Or is that all in one
You can try and
roll?
fire each time, but it depends on whether, it'll be a new instance of damage each time.
Okay.
What you can do, though, that's just trying to brute force blow your way through the hole. What you could do instead is try and do something more creative or more in keeping with your skills, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I was going to get at. I actually have 2 different things that if I can get enough time, so I have the good things come, so I can spend an inspiration to add 3 to a roll for an extended task. So basically, if I could extend this over a couple turns without getting knocked off position or
that
whatever.
result is not going to change. This is the effect of it's firing a handgun against an Abrams tank. It's
Right.
going to keep doing it. It's not going to have a cumulative effect. But if you took that ray gun of yours down to where the engine is, maybe there's some damage that you could do there, where you're not just
Right.
trying to blow through the hull of a ship.
Right.
Does that make sense? And here's something else I'll tell you. Remember, your etheric vision is still active this scene.
So I don't know, is this game... Oh, wait, I can spend... Oh, wait. I can spend a point of inspiration to dramatically edit a scene.
Yes, you can.
So what if I say that she's going to use engineering to basically hook up the power source of her car to her ray gun? So she's going to run a cable, pull a cable out of the car and basically jack this thing directly into the car. Mm-hmm. So spend a turn or 2 doing this engineering feat to try and greatly increase the output of her gun.
So that sent to me a major on-screen effect that saves the character's life or even the lives of the whole team. That's going to cost you 3 inspiration.
Okay.
So this is I don't know if this is going to work here. So you hook that stuff up, and instead I will, instead of doing the pistol against the Abrams, it is going to be a cumulative effect. Let's set the net successes you need to bust a hole in the ship is going to be 15. So go ahead and.
So first I need a turn to do this, right?
No. This will be you're spending your inspiration, so I'm fine with you.
It's as if this thing was she pulls a cable out of the car that she had pre-set up
Yep.
and now she's okay.
Yep, and go ahead and roll because you're trying to use your structural knowledge for this stuff. Go ahead and roll your engineering.
Okay, perfect.
For this.
Engineering.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
So there's this, instead of the little beams going down or whatnot, there's this overwhelmingly wow coming down. You rolled 6 successes. You also get a point of inspiration back.
Nice.
Okay. That is then this thing. So first thing is the mists swirl around it and begin stitching this thing back together. It screams out, and then it will try and bite Good old Jackie boy here. Jackie boy.
Jack.
Let's see here. I'm rolling. Let's see here. I'll roll in chat. So I couldn't find enough D10s, and I didn't want to be counting them. It is 2. Well, I got them also, like, because we don't generally play a lot of dice pool or D10 dice pool games. I like my big bucket of dice is stored away somewhere.
That's
2. All right, so here we go. Okay, boy. 1, 2, 3 successes against you. So that is then. What is your soak against lethal?
Lethal is 5 for my shield.
Okay, so that's actually, I'm only rolling 3 here. Oh no, bite's hold on. Bite is more. Claws are less. I should have taken multiple actions here. Come on, Madison. Play the game. 1, 2, 3. I gotta re-roll those. 2, 4, 5. Holy shit. All right, so that is 5 health levels. They finally managed to kind of chomps down on you, pulls, kind of rakes the jaws across you, and then you throw yourself free of its bite. So,
all right, what does that mean?
That means you'll be taking a penalty to your dice pools. What level of injury are you at right now?
Okay, so, I don't know how to calculate.
Have you tick them in? So you're bruised 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -3, you are maimed. -3 to your dice pools.
All right, I'm going to assume that putting in the X will do that on the sheet. I guess we'll see if it doesn't do that.
Okay. So that is the end of this thing's turn. Jack seems a little... He's got himself free of it, but holy shit, it bites hard. Damn vampire T-Rexes. End of the round, guys. Everyone decide what you want to do with your next round? Let's roll initiative.
So you said, what can I do to defend myself from this thing the next time it attacks me?
Yes, so what you can do is go on full defense, and then what that does is you get to make a defensive roll. You can roll block, parry, or you can roll either athletics or melee, and then your successes take away from their successes.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
You can remember you can do multiple actions too, so you can do
that's what I'm thinking is I can do multiple actions. First one go full defense, and the second one try to hit him. And
you've also got that knack that you could spend a point of inspiration, take an extra action, take -3 to your initiative. There's each of those things is independent of each other, so each action we calculate your multiple action penalties separately. So if you really want to say beat the bejesus out of this a couple of times, you can make a couple attacks on it, and then also save your second action to just do full defense.
That is the plan.
Sweet.
All right.
Once I see everyone's numbers in there.
All right.
I am consistent. I've been 13 or 14 every single time.
Okay. Not great for the old Dino. Okay, everyone's in there.
Right.
Jack is at 15. Well, Jack should be at 15, not 11, right?
Yeah. Didn't I put in 15?
You got 11. I think someone else may have put in.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was me. I made a mistake apparently when they were moving. My bad. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
Okay.
I apologize.
Eric shoves his way to the front. Out of the way, Jackie boy. All right. Speaking of Jackie boy, Jack, you're up first. What are you doing?
All right. So this thing's like a Dracula, so I'm not sure if it takes penalties from being hit like I do. But if it does, it seems like a good idea to hit it first and then defend, right?
Yep, most definitely.
So I am going to try to punch it twice with my shield.
May I ask, has Jack spent inspiration to double a dice pool yet, this scene?
I think he did for the stealth. And that's how I got 6 successes.
Okay.
Because I got a ton of successes on that stealth roll. I think that was how I got them. All right. So let's see. I need a -2 in here, and I guess we'll see if it calculates out for the X's on the sheet.
Okay.
But no damage modifier, I don't think.
Nice.
How many did that roll? That rolled 10. That should be 3 less.
That should be 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Because I have a essentially to hit roll a 12 -2 for the multi-action.
So we know that then we need to add the multi. If you get wounds, we need to add those in manually.
Yep.
It's not calculated. So let's just go ahead and roll again with 3 less dice, please.
All right, -5 total. No damage modifier.
Nice.
There we go.
So that's 3 points. And go ahead. Did you put the soak in as well? The damage modifier?
He's got 7 soak, right? I did not put the 7 soak in. So
Let's try it one more time.
All right.
Give you a chance
I'm gonna
to
get it
roll.
right this time.
Okay. -5 for your action, -7 for the soak.
5 -7.
There we go. But 0, but you're still, remember, roll 2 extra dice. Because it didn't calculate those.
1d10. No, 2d10. 2d10.
Go.
Greater than
Come on.
7.
Nice. One success. Wham! You hammer this thing in the ankle.
All right. And
What is your... Then?
second action is just to do it again because I want to keep its attention on me.
Okay, go ahead. So staggers back in this hull.
-5, -7. There we go.
Excellent. So you get a fortune back from those 5 successes. And then go ahead and roll 4 extra dice. 1, 2, roll 1 more extra dice. That's 5.
Nope.
Okay, so 5 damage on it. That's amazing. What do you think that's a significant hit on this thing? What do you think that looks like?
I think first time I kind of get it towards like the leg maybe where it's, hittable. And then it sort of comes down like to bite at me as a response. And I sort of smash it in the side of the face and break a couple teeth.
All right. Then your other one was to defend, right?
Yeah. Other one is to defend.
Okay.
That's my other not action, but not a multi-action, but my extra turn essentially.
Love it. Yeah, and Jack is moving now. I think Eric and Selah, you can see where this the unnatural aspect of Jack is really coming into play. Selah, you're up next. What are you doing?
I'm gonna keep trying to attack the hull here. So
go ahead and make your engineering. Now remember, you can't spend willpower to get extra successes on this too.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's spend a willpower this turn. So
brings you up to 7 successes in total.
Here we go.
Holy
beautiful!
Jeez.
Nice.
You go ahead and get another inspiration back too. So you are up to 13. One more round of this. The whole hull's beginning to kind of moan the way that it kind of does as if a ship is dying and cognizant of it. Is that it for you, Selah?
Yeah, that's it this round.
Okay, Eric,
Beautiful.
what are you doing?
All right, I have a question.
Please do.
So, I don't think I've spent any inspiration to double any dice pool.
I don't think you did either. I thought I was confused. I thought you had spent it for, because remember you rolled 12 dice on your stealth. I think that's because of your ability, your knack, not your thing. So yeah, I don't think you've spent inspiration yet.
Okay, so if I spend inspiration to double dice pools, does that apply to damage?
No, it does not, because the dice pool damage is not technically a dice pool because it's just dice.
Okay.
But you get more hits, so you get to reroll those as damage, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
The more successes you get above 1, unless they're defending themselves, which this zombie or vampiric T-Rex is not doing, everything you roll above 1 success, you get to roll those dice as damage.
Okay, yeah, so I definitely want to do that, and I think also my destructive facet gives me 2 automatic damage.
Nice. Yeah, once per scene, or
so
once per adventure.
Go ahead and what's that?
Once per adventure, once per scene.
Let's see, once per game, add 2 automatic damage successes to any one attack.
Are we seeing?
So I want to make sure I factor that in for this
Sure.
turn.
Are we seeing the manifestation of fire now?
No, he never does fire. It's all about his thing is all about mist and freezing and cold.
Okay. You sure he's not British?
No, very much, very German.
German,
very,
okay.
Very German.
German. Make bitte sein Attack. Zen. So what you're going to do is, and you also, I guess, could technically spend a willpower point to get an automatic success in your attack too.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Okay. So then you got 1 success on the attack already. Then you're going to add in a number of extra dice equal to whatever your dice pool is from the inspiration, because you're going to spend a point of inspiration.
Mm-hmm. So that would be 2 additional 10, right?
Well, 1 is it? Hold on, is it 2 additional? No, your dice pool is more than 2. What's your?
I think it says. What does it say for the automatic damage?
No. Hold on. Whoa. So your automatic damage is automatic damage. Full stop. You take those as damage.
Oh yeah, that's right. My bad.
Yeah. So what is your dice pool for your attack? I think it's your awareness.
Yeah, it's awareness. So that was a 4.
Your awareness is only 4?
No. The successes. Awareness was 8.
Right, so then what you should have been rolling
to hit.
is if your dice pool is 8 and you spend inspiration, you need to put 8 extra dice in there.
Oh shit.
Your modifier is 8. So roll the attack a second time. Let's just, we'll take that.
Let's try this one more time with feeling.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's my bad.
That's okay. That's first time I'm playing,
Okay,
right?
so let's go.
We're all
Frost
learning here.
Conjuration, so let's at an 8. Well, put the 8 in there, damn it. 8.
There you go. And then the soak, hold on.
Modifier.
Soak will be 7. So the damage modifier was -7 for this when it prompts you for the damage.
-7, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That helps a lot.
Okay.
Well, is it -7 or -5?
No, -7. Let's put -7 for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Why is it not
There we
doing
go.
anything?
Because the soak takes away the dice you're rolling, not the dice, not the automatic damage. Yeah,
Let's
is
try
there
this
still?
again.
Is it
8.
okay?
Yeah, it just didn't. I don't know. So 8 attack modifier, submit, -7 damage modifier. Is it showing up on your guys' end?
Nope.
Let me try one more time.
Well, is your character sheet popped out? Or is,
Yes.
if that hasn't been a problem thus far, I don't know. Maybe try closing your character sheet and just opening it natively.
I'll go ahead and close it because
Yeah.
it hasn't been a problem thus far. So, let's try this.
Okay.
So we said attack modifier of 8.
Mm-hmm.
Damage modifier of
-7.
negative. That's -7. Submit. It's not rolling. What
I
the
don't know
hell?
why that's. Let's see if I.
Hold on a second. Let me just go ahead and reconnect just to be safe. Yeah, that kills me because it's been working fine.
Yeah,
all
it's
night.
absolutely. I don't know what.
Let me just try it one more time. Character sheet, combat, frost conjuration, attack modifier. I should just be able to put an 8 in there with no pluses, and the damage is -7. I'm wondering if it doesn't understand if my base damage is 5.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it might
like,
not
negative
understand
7,
5
maybe it's
minus
confusing
7.
it.
oh, maybe
Do you think
that's.
do you think that's an issue?
Yeah, maybe.
It's trying to roll -2 dice.
Oh, that could be
Right,
why it's
but
breaking his
that's it.
brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
you want me to do it manually, Kevin?
Well, you could roll the attack normally and then roll
yeah, so
damage
roll
as
your
a
attack normally, and
manual.
we'll roll separate dice for damage.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
However y'all want to do it, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's totally it.
I was just looking at it and thinking about it. I was like, cannot divide by 0.
So go ahead and give us. So make your roll. Don't put any modifier for damage. Put 8 as the modifier
Right.
for thing, and let's see what happens.
Did that
Boom!
work?
There we go. 9 successes. So would you kindly
Holy
roll
shit.
8 plus 5 is your base, so that's 13 minus 7 brings you down to 6. So 6d10, please. And you're already doing a minimum of 2 on this because of your destructive stuff. That is 1, 2, so it's 3, 4. And roll 1 more d10, please.
Oh,
Another 1, that's 5. And roll 1 more d10 because we forgot about your willpower. Come on. Oh, so close!
damn it.
God dang. So this, what do we see as this, like, as you unleash your most powerful blast we've seen to date?
I mean, it's almost like a rage function, you know? Eric saw what happened to Jack previously.
Yep.
And, you know, just all of a sudden, I mean, all of the light in whatever available light just gets sucked in. And just everything grows dark. And then all of a sudden you see, you know, Eric just rages, just yells and pushes both of his hands out, and the mist just flies as the light comes back into the room, and just both hands, these ice daggers.
So this whole thing's body is like
fist.
shrouded in, as if it was a mini blizzard. Its flesh is being flensed off of its blanched bones. One of its eyes flies out of its head. The teeth start falling out as the what do you call it? As the wind and ice hits them and knocks them out. Is that it for Eric this round?
That's all Eric was worried about this round.
All right. So this thing wobbles on its feet like a poorly put together puppet, but one that begins to stitch itself back together. Jack, would you give us your defense roll?
All right.
So
melee, you said?
melee could be you block him with a shield.
Yeah. Melee. Let's go. Oh, wait, I didn't do it with the modifiers. That's too many.
Okay. So
-3 for my wounding. Oh, no. That's not as good.
still, that jacks it up to, I need 4.
Mm-hmm.
No, I only need to beat what you rolled. No, so this thing, in spite of that, you know, all it took was one bite for you to learn not to be in its way. It snaps down at you, and you're able to, you know, hit with the shield and jump back so that its bulk pushes you back and you catch your feet. This may be the last round before the ship gives out, guys. Let's all roll initiative. First off, decide what you want to do with your round. I rolled just terrible.
Nice.
I think everyone's modifier is higher than what I actually rolled.
Finally. Got a good roll.
All right.
Oh no!
Stinkies!
On the tense. That's actually makes sense for
Yeah.
her to go last this round.
Well, I
She's
picked,
gonna.
as you're doing that too,
all.
I think smoke is starting to come out of the what do you call it? Like the junction that where it's put in. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, so then everyone's just entered there, descending. All right, Jack, you're up first once again. What are you doing?
All right, I am punching it again. I am going to add so I have this things fall apart once per game, add 1 automatic damage success to any one attack.
Yep.
So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend a willpower to get an extra success.
Love it.
So -1 there. And then I am doing an attack at I'm just doing 1 attack. So it's just the -3 for being wounded.
Yep.
And -7 to damage. And
Beautiful.
another
So that's 3
5.
points of damage, another 5 dice.
Another 5 dice. Awesome.
Come on. Are you kidding me?
got to be
Oh,
kidding.
God. Seriously. You guys have reduced it to 1 again.
Oh no.
You hammer this thing, it
I still get
wobbles.
to go.
Yeah, Eric's gonna finish it up. I was just warming him up for you, buddy.
Okay, Eric.
Yeah, I know. tag team back again.
So maybe
yeah,
like when
so let's
what
go
happens is
ahead
as its head comes down, you jump and are knocked back. But then as you hit, you spin around carrying your momentum forward, hit its head to the side, and it kind of roars back. And now it's open for you again, Eric. What are you doing?
So I'm doing the same old thing once more.
Okay.
Under the Frost Conjuration.
All right. Do you want? Are
So
you spending
this is
another
for the attack.
willpower as well?
Yeah, to get an automatic success, yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So that's 3. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And there's the attack. 7.
So that is. Would you roll 8 extra dice, please? Oh, hold on. 8 extra dice plus 5. So, hold on. That's 13. Same thing. 6 dice. You just need
okay.
1 to
Yeah.
roll 7 or higher. Look at that! Beautiful. Roll 3 extra dice, please.
Oh yeah, so
Did you roll the 10s? 1, 2, 3, 4. What does it look like as this thing is reduced to mist once again?
I mean, just once again, I mean, you see, like if anybody's looking at Eric, his eyes have turned white.
Okay.
And there's even some of that smoke mist coming out of his mouth. And it's just this pure channeling of the smoke world.
Love
and
it.
just the smoke flows out of him, narrows, and then opens up into these ice daggers that just...
All right, and this thing falls. Everybody gets a willpower point, and you get a point of inspiration. As this thing drops, Sayla, what are you doing?
Just adding my points.
Okay.
And gonna do my engineering check, my last one here.
Are you spending willpower again as well?
I think I only need 2 successes, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna
Okay.
just go on my skill.
You go. Whoa, whoa,
She
whoa, whoa, whoa.
sees the hole forming. She fires her ray gun.
Oh,
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice.
And then the there's an explosion as it cuts through the hull. Water begins sort of seeping out of here, and you see sparks fly out, and that junction that you were using just stops working. Sayla,
Yeah.
just in time. Oh. So, guys, as we segue out for the last 8 minutes of this, how do you guys escape from here?
Well, I think first
I
you see
think
Sayla like pull the cord, and it like retracts into the car, and she's like, "We gotta get out of here now." Go ahead, Will.
I would think Sayla kind of lands maybe on the top of that one container. Jack jumps up there, grabs Eric's arm, pulls him up, and the two of them jump in.
Jack's
And then
strong enough,
Sayla.
honestly, he could scoop up Eric and then leap up. Remember,
That's
his
cool.
might dice pool is a 9, so it's
Yeah,
around time of
that's
like
cool.
turning over cars, kind of strong. So, Arlen, anything to add?
Yeah, so Jack's just gonna, sling the shield on his back and grab Eric and, hop up towards the car and let's get out of here.
Okay, so you hop up on there, and then with Jack and Eric in the car, Sayla, what are you doing? There's probably side runners on it too, right? Like the little things of
Running board.
yeah, running boards. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
like I think it's like piloted back out through the hole that she crashed in there.
Okay.
And take off back into the city.
So here's what happens. You pull, kind of wobble back and forth out of this. You get up in time to see the ship kind of like rupture and begins sinking down. And then you hear a cry. And there's water kind of gurgling and bursting out of there. And what you see fly out,
Damn it.
vampire pterodactyl! Which arcs
God.
towards the side. And if I knew better, well, we don't know where you are. It is definitely arcing off in the direction of Carfax Abbey. Its rotted wings carrying it forward into the mist. Sayla, if you don't hurry, you're gonna miss it. What do you do?
Shoot at that son of a bitch.
We could.
I'll just get me close. I'll hop on its back.
So
Sure,
you're
yeah,
both
we-
kind of talking. Sayla, I think suddenly goggles appear on your head. You sort of like, hold on.
Yeah.
And we see the flying jaguar taking off in search or in pursuit of the vampire pterodactyl. And that is how we are bringing an end to the deadly dinos of Nazi Dracula.
Nice.
Guys, this was so much. It was a ton of fun to write. This was so much more fun to run too. So thank you so much.
That was awesome.
That is great. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this special one-shot of adventure. As is always the case, if you have any comments, let's move us back to the main screen here. And I think we can put back on our... Let's see here. What was the... was it this? Yeah. All right, so for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this one-shot for Adventure. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, do not hesitate to leave a comment down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, if you have... what am I saying here? In addition, you can reach us on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, a link to which you can find down below. There are channels dedicated to, not to this game, but to assorted games and every other game we run on the channel on a regular basis. So if you have any questions, you can carry over there. It's also a ton of other great channels there with great people, so you're welcome to join us over in the Dungeon Musings community and join us for more chat about this and other terrific RPGs. I will say as well, we don't have, normally we have a link to the charity initiative that we support, which is the SOS Children's Villages International. Unfortunately, the link there between service providers for their charity, their donation platform right now, so we're not able to actually accept donations for them yet. Once I have that up and working, you should be able to find a link down below for that. And all donations go directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman, just goes to help those kids who benefit from the SOS Children's Villages International activities. Last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our players, Jeffrey, Arlen, and most especially Will, for requesting this game. Thank you so much. Oh, and Arlen, who had requested dinosaurs in his game. So there you go.
There you go.
Then until next time, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our pulp heroes have been encountering. Until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.